Welcome, everybody. I am over on this side of the screen now instead of the other side of the screen because I was a fool, and for this very special episode of the Top Shelf, I scheduled 5 people to play and forgot to have an overlay done. So I'm the map bubble today. It's great. But we are playing on the Top Shelf for today and the next couple of episodes over the course of the next months, The Company. The one thing that we haven't talked about on the Top Shelf yet and really discussed intro-wise or mechanic-wise is independent tabletops in the form of how well they hold up in long-standing campaigns, because they usually have less rules. They're not quite as robust for customization and things. How do they feel moving through a story over multiple sessions? So we're going to do that for a little while with Resident Evil Catalyst, the miniseries campaign that I have concocted, setting canon-wise in between Resident Evil 4 and 5, from the perspective of the Tricell employees and the peculiarities that are becoming of their company. So, without, I guess, any further ado, we'll go around the table and introduce everybody. We'll start with Meg, then Vermin, then Shockpoint, then Rowan, and then we'll move up to our very special guest for this particular episode, which I'm super excited about, Logan Dean, who is the author of The Company, which is going to be lots and lots of fun. But yeah, introduce yourselves, name of your character, a little bit about them, their job within the company, and then what you're drinking for the night.
Okay. Hi guys, I'm Meg Mysteria. Tonight I will be playing Dr. Laura Davis. She is a scientist in this grand company of ours. And, well, she is working on finding some cures. Maybe. She could be.
That's not reassuring.
I'm not here to be reassuring, but as far as what we're drinking tonight, we've got some Peach Crown and Coke.
Very good.
Hey y'all, I'm Legendary Vermin, or Vermin. I'm playing Portia McLaren. She's an engineer, and she's kind of a feisty type who cut her teeth doing YouTube specials where she would engineer wild stuff, like slapping a chicken to cook it. Yeah, and she got picked up by a nice big company, now has a nice cushy job, and is like, let's go. I am drinking a fine whiskey from Woodby Island Distillery.
Nice.
All right. Hello, I am Shockpoint Failure. You can, we'll deal with that later. Today I'll be playing Theodore Armel, a medic who has been in service of Tricell for the better part of a decade at this point. I may have been driven insane by keeping the office workers alive through through mundane injuries, more so than anything else. And I am joining the whiskey game by sipping on a single malt Irish whiskey the last week because I've got to restock.
Not mad, though. Rowan, what you got? Oh, sorry.
Hello, lovely. No, you're good. Hello, lovely people. My name is Rowan. My pronouns are they, she, and tonight I will be playing Franny Fern, whose pronouns are she, her. I am the technician. I'm just happy to be here. I have a little robot friend. It's going to be great. And I am drinking Clase Azul, which is tequila that comes in this bottle.
Very, very good.
That's pretty.
It's a pretty bottle. Yeah.
It's so pretty. And it's tasty.
I don't know how to follow up after that bottle. I'm Logan. I wrote this. Oh, the game, not Resident Evil. That was that wasn't me. That was Paul W.S. Anderson. I'm playing Chase Oberweiss. I'm an executive with Tricell. Here to check it out. I'm drinking the classic Four Roses bourbon. 1888. I assume this was made more recently, but they've been making it since then.
I'm impressed. What do you? Oh, this is totally a tangent, but my brain's gonna go there because I don't know anybody else who drinks bourbon. Opinions over whiskeys and things. Do you prefer bourbon in general, or?
I used to drink a lot of single malt, like Scotch, but then I ran out of money.
That'll do it.
Scotch gets pricey.
Yeah, no, bourbon is something I picked up during the pandemic. Weirdly, like I used to drink it a little bit, and then like it was cheap, so I bought a case of it at one point, and then just stopped buying other stuff.
Very good. All right. Well, thank you again for joining us on the premiere of all of this. I'm stoked to have you here, and
I'm stoked to be here. Thank you for asking.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm disappointed in you all, though, except for Mr. Oberweiss over there, because
What did we do?
Drinking on shift. I'm upset,
Listen. Are you my manager?
I could have sworn it was in like, the whole bylaws that Saturday work days we kind of follow German law, where we drink on work.
Oh no, not here. In a biomedical facility, undisclosed, somewhere in Colorado, where you all had to sign pretty explicit NDAs to make sure any of this functions. I will be informing HR, but since this is your first offense, they will make note of it. Just don't do it again.
I did
Right.
not see anything about a nightcap in my NDA.
Perhaps you should have read it more carefully then.
Should have read the fine print.
Anyway, so
You're in trouble.
we begin this fine work day. It is about 3 in the afternoon in an undisclosed location in Colorado, a specialized division of Tricell that is kept under wraps. And you four, Franny, Theodore, Portia, and Laura, are all assisting in a presentation to a new corporate executive, or a visiting corporate executive, not new, but a visiting corporate executive to the office. We are starting our session with our medic, our engineer, and our tech officer, which, let me just double check here, because now I have to make, our technician, all on one side of an observation glass. The engineer and the technician working, the desk in front of it, intercom, and the actual, environment of the room itself opposite you. And the medic is on standby within the room, as he normally does for any of these standard presentations. This one, though, is special. And on the opposite side of the glass, Dr. Laura Davis. Oh, I wrote Davies. I'll fix that in a minute. It's Davies. Don't read my writing. Dr. Laura Davies on the opposite side of the glass with two of her assistants, Dr. Lee Hin and Dr. Margaret Bishop, who are all going to be presenting to the individual who walks into the room with Scott Richardson, who is the head of R&D for this particular division of Tricell. You all know him well. Ostentatious, dresses to the nines unnecessarily for the kind of work that he does. Very clean cut, short, chocolate brown hair, deep green eyes, kind of mid-40s fit gentleman who escorts Mr. Oberweiss into the observation room with you three, as well as two armed Tricell guards, which normally, for your all's information, are usually just carrying pistols on their belts, much like MPs. Currently, they are both slung with an assault rifle, and have them at the ready as the door shuts and seals behind the four that enter the room, with the three of you, Dr. Laura Davies, prepping the space on the opposite side of the observation glass. And as you are waiting for it, Mr. Richardson will speak up and introduce you all to Mr. Oberweiss here. And if you would like to explain or describe your character a little bit for us, Logan, what are we looking at?
Chase Oberweiss looks exactly like I look right now, because it is me, and he's got like that kind of like big tech corporate on a retreat type ski vest on. This is fun for him. Wears these tinted glasses, not because he needs to, but because it makes him look important. He's from he's a heir to a milk fortune. His father was a milk baron, so he's comes from money, and he doesn't acknowledge anybody as he walks in.
No words to anybody, just standing there. Oh, I've met executives like that. I'm immediately uncomfort. It's perfect. So, the three of you all at your stations, Mr. Richardson will kind of lean over our technician a little bit and hit the intercom button so that he can speak through the observation glass, and he goes, Miss Davis, are you ready to begin?
Of course, I'm ready when you are.
Spectacular. Well, I appreciate you all joining us. I trust that the memo and the prep time found you well so that we can give our best display today. Miss Davis, if you and your two assistants would begin, they can. We'll get started. And he looks at, and remind me here, which one of you is our technician? Franny? Okay, so he looks at you and he goes, would you mind opening the specimen case so that they're visible? There's a table in the center of the room with basically steel blinds on it that have no visibility up to this point, and then which sits aside Laura and then her two assistants on the opposite side of the table. Everybody is in, kind of just lab coats, fairly casual because everything's hermetically sealed and all of these specimens are kept well under lock.
Well, of course, love. And I will hit. I assume there's a button to do so.
Absolutely.
Franny is a woman in her early to mid 40s. A very nice vest, a bow tie, very frizzy red hair, a pair of glasses on her face, another pair of glasses hanging around her neck, presumably for seeing things closer up. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a very, very, very charming, you sort of woman.
Mr. Richardson, as you acquiesced his request to open the glass, kind of leans in just a little bit and side whispers to you, presumably so that Oberweiss doesn't hear him, and goes, do not call me love. Period.
Of course, sugar.
And there's this uncomfortable pause for just a second before he leans back and takes a step back to observe the glass. Miss Davis, what are we looking at in this sample case? Please begin.
Before I go into that, remind me what the name of my assistants ended up being.
Yes, so you have Dr. Lee Hin, 22. He's very athletically conscious, fit guy, keeps his head just like perfectly shaved. And then you have Margaret Bishop, who is mid 30s, long auburn hair, kind of bobbed up and wavy. And you probably know her a little bit better than Dr. Hin, but they've both been working with you on this project, at least for the parts of the undisclosed, with them for the last number of months now, once they were assigned to your team.
Okay. So then as the specimen cases come up, she kind of turns on her heel. She's wearing really relatively low heels, like maybe the 1-inch kind of dress shoes that go with her pen skirt and the nice white button down. She does have that white lab coat on, of course, keeping everything very clean. Have to with the things that we're dealing with. But notably in her pocket, she has a tablet in her hands, but in her pocket there is a dingy looking, rather well-worn notebook. But she turns on her heels, and on that tablet sets up, there's a presentation board behind them, the display cases, and it comes up with I'm trying to think of the best way to describe this. It's very clearly not human. It looks closer to more like, people would closely more recognize it as like an octopus, but under it's got a lot of tentacles. It looks very squirmy. It's the same thing that's sitting in that display case, actually. It's a little bit of an insectoid look to it. And the title of that presentation with the image underneath it is just Las Plagas. So, we very recently came into the acquisition of 2 very important specimens. One is a pure sample of the T virus. Well, we obtained that after taking over Will Pharma and their involvement in the airport incident. And we also managed to get a hold of a Las Plagas sample. Now, this specimen is very, very interesting. It's a parasite out from Spain. It's... Oh dear, how do I explain this, really? Well, in simple terms, it operates a little bit like a hive. There's a queen, and then there's the drones. Now, unfortunately, we weren't able to really requisition a queen, but we're making do with what we've got. Now, what we've been working on a bit is seeing how well they might interact, as well as, of course, looking up potential cures, things like that, things that we can do to treat these ailments. Of course, that's our number 1 priority here at Tricell. We want to make sure that we can take care of the world.
And I appreciate the introduction, but everybody here, other than Mr. Oberweiss, is familiar with what we're doing, and I believe Oberweiss needs no small, no grandeur necessary. Please tell us what you found. Where are you at so far in the research?
Well, we have found that the sample that we obtained is a very, very aggressive form of the T virus. It escalates very rapidly, much more so than the Raccoon City incident, where that took a matter of hours. This takes more of a matter of minutes to take over its host. And we have made some headway with coming up with a viable vaccine to deal with it. But what's more interesting is how this interacts with the Plagas itself. See, it doesn't really... Neither of them really cancels the other out. Instead, they seem to bond more so and start to create a new entity. I'm still working on that project. I haven't gotten that far into it. Unfortunately, we lack some of the required materials to properly test it.
Miss Davis, are we looking at the original Las Plagas parasite, or are we looking at a spliced strain with the T virus that you have just been discussing?
Well, I have one of each. This one on the left here is the original. It's not very active, as you can see, but in comparison, moves over to the one on the right side, and that one is significantly more active. It's mobile. It seems to be seeking something out despite being in that enclosed case. This one is significantly more hostile.
What is it looking for? It seems to be pressing against the glass fairly intently.
It's looking for a host.
Oh, can it see
Set-
us?
Well, not with eyes. It's operates more using pheromones. It can sense those of us here in the room through that. It's not a completely sealed container. Something still gets through just because of how we had to handle it.
I see. Well, anything else? Any questions from you, Mr. Oberweiss?
Yeah, I'm gonna just push Richardson aside and go straight up to the intercom and press it.
He's gonna try not to be upset by that, but he's not gonna say anything because chain of command.
Dr. Davis, you said that the infection rate is much higher with this specimen, correct?
Yes, everything that's come into contact with so far, it's become much more aggressive. It spreads more violently, at a much more rapid pace than some of the other creations.
And what have you exposed this to?
Mostly animals, of course.
So no human trials at this point?
No, at this point.
I see.
Of course, there's a danger to doing something like that, and, well, any sane human isn't going to consent.
Of course. Danger. Right. Luckily, we've taken some precautions here today, and I think I'd like to see a demonstration of that.
You would?
There's
I'm on assignment from the board to get hard empirical evidence. I think we have enough data that we could feasibly reverse any ill effects. It seems like you have a lot of data on your end where we could synthesize some sort of vaccine. Maybe this would help our research along a little bit.
Well, of course, we have a number of countermeasures that we can take to deal with the infection or the plague's taking hold.
Richardson, now visibly a little uncomfortable, is going to chime into the. Not pushing you out of the way, but loud enough that he's hoping it's reaching through the intercom. But he's like, "Do we have any of those countermeasures on hand? I don't know that we were anticipating a full demonstration."
Remind me, the observation platform is more at the observation room is at a lower level?
No, so these are
that...
even to each other. This is almost like the glass between an interrogation room and a police station. So it's like tech side of it, and then you on the other side, just like full plate glass between. And obviously, like, we know that the plate glass is reinforced and, nigh bulletproof. That room is as sealed as it can be. But I take it that is based on the tone of his voice, not really Richardson's concern at the moment.
Of course. There's a path directly connecting to the lab. How else would we get the specimens up here?
Right. And you have a workable countermeasure for this vaccine, or for this trial, should we attempt it, ready?
Yes.
Understood.
Sounds good. Rock and roll.
Okay. How do you guys want to do this? Laura, you have the reins.
I think I am actually going to end up rolling a guile here because she is going to step off to the side and tell her assistants that if you would give me just a moment, I'm going to see if I can get the gentlemen, our lovely guards, to just come in, of course, for extra reassurance. If something goes sideways, and, well, obviously we need to find a host.
Yeah, go ahead and give me a guile roll.
Let's see. That ends up being a 4.
A 4. Okay. So that is a stress to you as you realize that this is the request that Mr. Oberweiss is presenting to you, and seeing the guards on the other side of the glass. 2 officers which you don't personally recognize, heavily armed, probably from a different division, or coming from HQ with Mr. Oberweiss, are present there for his protection, and you're probably in there on your own between the 3 of you.
Oh, that's fine. I'm mostly for talking to them, not really worried about the guards. Keeping them near, just telling them to stand by, wait for a moment, and walking towards the door. And I imagine she'd have her own control mechanism.
She would, yes. She's the only one of the only people who has access to the. Or you're the only one with the key card to the observation room between the 3 of you.
Okay. And steps into the dividing, because I imagine that there's still like a little dividing room for decontamination or what have you. And activates and as soon as the door shuts, activates the casing to open.
Okay. So, the 3 of you, with hands at the controls, wide eyes from the medic and Mr. Richardson, you can hear the shift of 2 assault rifles behind you as these guards kind of stiffen up, as the glass seal on this chamber lowers on one side as Laura steps out of the observation room and seals the chamber behind her. Laura, you don't have any personal visual on this room at this point if you were in the decontamination space in betwixt. But the rest of you watch as this particularly virulent mature Las Plagas parasite immediately begins to move. Kind of moving around the glass until it can find its escape wall and begins kind of rolling out. The 2 other scientists are concerned. They were not anticipating any of this, and both of them you can see back into the corners or try to hold themselves off from what they know is inevitable because they can't get out of the room with that key card gone. And you watch one of them, as much as they struggle to shrug it off or try to avoid this thing, be accosted by this probably avocado-sized tendrilled flesh that moves towards it and up it, almost leaping to a place that it kind of forces the jaw open and finds the nearest way into the host. Yeah.
I don't want to interrupt what's actually happening. Like, I feel like this should happen in the fiction, but I feel like Portia is like looking to stop this from happening because, like, as far as she knows, there are no countermeasures on hand.
Okay, fair. What is Portia doing during this this demonstration that was just requested?
There's definitely a moment like a little bit earlier where they like suggest a demonstration, and I kind of so Portia is like early 20s. She's wearing like her nice demonstration coveralls, short hair pulled back. Yeah, not her work coveralls, which have like patches that she doesn't want senior management to see. And like at some point, I kind of look between Theodore and Franny, and I'm like, they're doing this now? Like, they can't do this right now. And I think what I'm looking for is some sort of access to if we have anything that kills the parasite on contact with like some sort of gas, but will leave people okay. I'm like hammering things on my control panel in front of me.
Okay.
To like end the test.
Yeah. So you and Franny have control over the panels themselves that are kind of watching this room. There are feasibly, if you've ever seen like a clay oven, the top corners of this space basically are designed to just incinerate anything within it. This room is and will heat up to a point that it will kill anything inside, which is the only countermeasure that you are familiar with, but in doing so, you know you would also fry somebody who is not infected. You will kill...
Yeah, I think what she does is she's like looking for some way to like close the panel. There's nothing on her end that's working, and like she's looking at that, you know, big red button that says like incinerate, and she just doesn't touch it.
Okay. Franny, you were the one who lowered the basically the blast shield for this glass. You do technically have the controls to this little box on the front of it just as much as Laura does, but she's already undone it, so I don't know if that would benefit you at all.
Oh my stars! We have to get them out of there. That is not safe.
Yeah. I've seen. Well, I won't quite say I've seen stuff like this before, but can I say that Theodore at least read about what happened in the Raccoon City incidents?
Oh yes, you would all be very familiar with Raccoon City, as well as a number of the incidents following it. Raccoon City was national. I mean, it was not like very, very public news, but everybody is familiar that bad shit went down in Raccoon City, and you guys would all be privy to more information than others.
Right.
Now,
so yeah, Theodore is just slowly idling his way over to the door away from all of this.
Out, kind of like skirting around Chase as you're getting close to the exit.
Trying to get close to the exit, not drawing my attention to everybody, but the instant it looks like this is going to go further south, he's opening that door and booking it.
Yeah, and as a note, Mr. Hin, or Dr. Hin, is now on the ground, unconscious, feasibly, and convulsing. Margaret Bishop is beating on the door that Laura is on the other side of, almost in tears at this point, waiting for something awful to happen, and can't do anything about it.
So Laura just takes out, or looks at her watch and times it just based on some of the trials and things that they've already done and estimates and things like that, and just waits for a minute or two for theoretically what should be the inoculation process already going underway before opening the door again.
Okay.
Now that Margaret's beating on it.
So based on what I understand then, based on your research, you are waiting for the parasite to find a host before you open it and attempt to get Margaret through in that small window.
Yes.
Between it getting back up. Okay. Give me a... you know what? Let's make this a research roll. This will be. We'll start us off pretty simple. This will be an easy. We're looking for 1 success.
That is a 10 and a 4.
Okay. Very good. All right. So that's 1 stress off of you again then. And you do perfectly. You've done these a number of times. You are completely unfazed by the fact that you had just infected somebody in that glass. And as you open that door, Margaret, as soon as she has even a gap, she's through it and in that quarantine space that you are before it seals back shut. And within 7 seconds of it closing, because your timing is as impeccable as it is, you watch Mr. Hin get back up, and the nature of this virus and the way that it mutates in the form that you have gotten it, which is an imperfect splicing of the two currently, you notice 2 things. One, he still looks like Mr. Hin. He is eyes are bloodshot. There's blood kind of running from the tear duct spaces in between his eyes, and he stands back up. Definitely looks. It's not a natural climbing back to place, but he is also growing in a sense. In the striations of muscle that you would normally see, and like if you were to dissect or take the skin off of like an anatomy, you're almost looking at like cords or ropes of additional muscle that you can see very specifically, these bands underneath the skin kind of bolstering his beef, I guess, for lack of a better term. Big, like, he's definitely bigger than he was. It is feeding and evolving off of his own genetic material and creating something far worse. And without anything in there to look for, you watch him walk up to the edge of the glass that you were all just on the other side of. Bulletproof glass.
Ladies and gentlemen, I believe that is our sign to back away and make our way to the exits.
Oh, that poor man.
2 full fists into the center of the glass, full force, seeing all of you on the other side of it. Because this is not, this is not one-way glass. He can see all of you, and the initial impact is enough to splinter and crack the front of this bulletproof glass. As the thing kind of...
Cool,
Franny,
blast shields
blast
are going down. Yep.
I smashed
Oh
the
my
incinerate
goodness!
button.
Okay, so the room begins...
Yeah, blast doors down, incinerate on.
Okay, so the blast doors go down, this glass shuts, and you can hear the alarm, and you hear it as well, Laura, but you can hear the alarm of the incinerator heating up, and the room beginning to get hotter, and you can watch the temperature rise. And you let that go for a minute before you hear the snap and crackle of basically full flamethrowers from the corners of the room getting ready to torch and finish this. It's loud. The alarms are going off. It takes probably 5 or 10 minutes before it really cools down to a safe level where that blast door raises back up. And what you see when that happens, if you put a rat in a bucket and you slowly heat up that bucket, the rat will do anything it can to try to leave. And there is a hole, like, beaten through the side of this wall, and pieces torn off of it on the opposite side of the door where Laura was, heading deeper into the facility, where it had escaped. Presumably not before some damage, but it did everything it could to keep itself alive, and it is now gone.
Before that 10 minutes is even up.
Yes.
Portia leaves the room. I think just unceremoniously vomits in the hallway, and then goes into the decontamination chamber.
So can I?
I don't think. Yeah.
Sorry, can I stop you real quick?
Go ahead.
If you're going to leave the room, the 2 guards on either side of the door will not allow you to. Their orders, at least initially, are to see this through. So if you're vomiting, it will be on the floor.
In
the center of the
she can go.
Okay.
I'll wave her through. I'll be like,
That's fine.
you go ahead.
All right. Fair
I
enough.
don't want to watch that.
So
Okay.
Oberweiss
So,
releases the dogs, and you manage to make it outside.
the whole
Take 'em
time that
away.
the incinerator goes off, Laura's just in that decontamination room with Margaret, probably just uncontrollably sobbing,
Yes.
just muttering about and swearing about the fact that they hit the incinerator too early. They weren't really able to gather data.
Oh wait, Laura's sobbing over this?
No, Margaret's probably sobbing. Laura is mad that they threw the incineration.
Okay. Got it.
Mr. Oberweiss, all due respect, but I do think this little demonstration may have been a mistake.
Fern, right?
Franny.
Fern. This CCTV, this is all networked, right?
Yes.
Great.
Portia, please continue with your intermediary bit, and then we will get back to Franny and Chase's conversation.
Yeah, I open the far end of the decontamination chamber, and I think the first thing that I do is I try to break Laura's nose.
Okay, yeah. Roll for an attack for me. Laura, if this is
Valid.
combat,
Absolutely valid.
Portia will make a fight roll. Laura, you have the option to either dodge, or to roll dodge, or roll body. Are you trying to avoid it, or are you trying to just take it square on?
Probably avoid it.
Okay, give me a dodge roll then.
Now, if I don't have anything, I just roll the 1d10, right?
Yes.
If I am making a fight roll, do I use combat or can I use body for that? Oh,
You would
there's
use
a fight
combat.
stat.
Or,
It's
yes.
Fight and combat are both eligible.
Okay.
So that is an
this will be
8
a
on my
comedy of
side.
errors because neither of us have these stats.
It's very good.
2 4s.
Okay, what'd you roll, Laura?
1-8.
Okay, so you take a swing. Laura is just stone cold this whole time, as she has been in that other office, and you go straight for her, and she just kind of sidesteps it and full eye contact with you.
What the fuck? That was Lee. That was Lee. He works with us. What are you doing?
I'm doing what was requested of me by one of our benefactors.
Do you even have the countermeasures that you said?
Of course I do. They're in my lab. And like I said, there's a direct connect to there from here. Now,
Then you
I
need
was
to be
not able
going
to.
there right now.
Well, what did you see? Did it
I
get
didn't
out?
wait around for the flamethrowers to finish their job. Let's go.
Move out of my way. And it moves past Portia and tries to get to a point where she herself can look into the room to see.
Okay, so you're going to
Kinda
walk
the aftermath.
around and then into the observation portion of the room.
Yes, because I haven't had eyes through the whole encounter. I just heard the
Okay.
incinerators go off.
Got
so.
it. So you walk into this space as Chase and Franny are having this conversation. If you guys want to continue, you're having that conversation while Laura is entering the room now.
Yes. Everything here is networked through the CCTV. We have access to those cameras. I can give you that access if you need. Do we have access in this room, or do we have to go somewhere else?
You would need to be in the security room to see all of
If
that.
HQ
We can head to the security room.
network in. Just want to make sure they get to see the whole picture of what's going on.
Yes, well, everything is recorded, so we can take that. We can take those recordings. We can send that to them. That's it. Yep.
Great.
I hate to keep harping on what might be some negative news, but I am worried about that. He just points at the hole in the wall.
Yeah, we're gonna get your coworker rounded up. We're gonna make sure he's okay.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. That's very reassuring to hear.
Yeah, we definitely do not want to lose an asset like that.
As you hear the bolt on both of the assault rifles behind you, the full chunk.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but the soldiers have the right idea.
The right idea? What do you mean? What?
We
Okay.
have.
This is the one, count them, one organism that has interacted in such a way with this mutation. Are we really going to throw that away?
Laura.
This opens a
Laura.
great, a much bigger understanding of what this thing is capable of, what we can do.
Laura?
What?
She gets
Laura.
it.
What is my role on the team?
Remind me why you're here again.
My job on this team is to keep all of you alive, even against your own stupidity and aggressive natures. So right now, my medical professional opinion is that thing needs to die so we get to live.
The guards both pipe up, or one of them does. You can see the badge on them. You have both of them identify as agent as opposed to like officer. But you have one of the plaques reads Agent Wuhan, and the other officer reads Agent Baxter. And Baxter pipes up and he looks at the two of you and he goes, "What, these? No. These, we're not going to kill it. These are for us. Make sure Mr. Oberweiss gets out safely." Oberweiss was correct. The asset is too valuable to just put down. We need to capture it.
Yes, that's our friend.
A magnanimous dispensation.
We're gonna make sure he's just fine.
Are you all right, Theodore? You seem a little stressed.
No, I'm fine. I don't think we've hit stress yet.
I'm very worried to see what stress looks like then.
Yeah, you're about to, because as Theodore coincidentally says, we haven't hit stressed yet. The lights all shut off. Power drops to the whole sector at least, if not the building, before the kind of sparse red emergency lights flicker on. One in that room, a single bulb, and then you can see a couple others flicker on in the hallway behind. Because the door was open, because Laura Davis was kind of walking in, but it hadn't shut behind her, and then power's out, so it's locked open. You can see down both ways of the hall, faint light, but no power.
Why did we only put
It's
one
more like emergency lights
generator?
are on.
Yeah, but emergency lights are on.
Oh.
Oh,
I can try and fix that.
What's her name? Franny, right?
Yeah.
Do our cameras work while still on reserve power?
GM, do our cameras work while still on reserve power?
You tell me. You're the technician.
About half of them do. It diverts power to the really important ones, the ones that cover like the main hallways and things like that. The main hallways, some of the lab areas.
Okay, fantastic. I know that my lab is already set on reserve. All the backups go there.
If you need certain if you need particular cameras on, I can probably try and turn those ones on. I'll probably have to turn some other ones off, but I can probably try and turn those ones on. I just need somewhere to plug in.
Okay. So, what is the plan then? Are you guys all heading to the security mainframe?
I assume that's the most secure part of the facility. We can lock down in a security office.
I like that idea.
And if we're in security, that gives you complete access to all of the cameras in the extra facilities, right?
I mean, I don't know if I could turn them all on at once. I might have to drop power from somewhere else to do that. We only have so much.
Well, we'll be able to find where it is anyway.
That's true. Alternatively, we could leave. And
Oh no, this is completely in lockdown. We're not going to be able to leave. Not until the desert's contained.
Agent Baxter, having his hand up to his ear, confirms that information and goes, Dr. Davis is right. Everything is on lockdown for quarantine now. Getting out of the building would be extremely difficult at this moment because we need to contain the outbreak.
Yes, of course. Absolutely. My mistake.
Theodore, if you're still insisting on doing your job, I think Margaret might be in shock.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Why do I still work here? And Theodore goes over to check up on Margaret and make sure she's fine.
I will make sure at least y'all get at least 5 more vacation days this year.
Oh, that's nice.
Yes. Nice. Great. They're paid, right?
Of course.
I'm waiting for a guile roll.
Theodore, make a medicine check for me. We're gonna make this difficult. You can add. I believe you have the dice for it, but you can use first aid and medicine. But
okay.
This one's going to be difficult. We're looking for at least 2 successes.
All right. Well, I got a 10 and 2 5s.
10 and 2 5s. Okay. So 1 success, 1 stress. You're not getting through to Margaret. She's hearing you, you think, but she is inconsolable, almost to the point that, they've been working together for a long time, but they were very, very close, and she is horrified. You can even hear her talk about while you're trying to console her and treat her for shock. She is entirely unconvinced that Dr. Davis's vaccine or countermeasures are even testable at this point. She does not believe in them, which is part of what is causing this panic. It was far too early, and now she's convinced that Dr. Hin's just gone.
Right. Yeah.
Can we share a look at that point? Because I think I'm still in the decontamination.
Yeah, I don't think you left, so yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Theo's just glancing over towards you, Portia, and just like.
Listen, as far as Laura's aware, all of our countermeasures work.
Yes, just like the flamethrowers did.
Exactly. That's company. That's not me.
All right. So, next step is heading to the security office. Is that correct?
I believe it is.
Okay. Agent Wuhan and Baxter both look at all of you and said, "We need to get moving then. Follow us. We'll get you there, and then you can figure out your next steps at that point." And we are going to take a real quick break before we continue into the rest of the episode. Usually we take a short intermission about this point, about 5-10 minutes, and we will be right back. Thanks so much for sticking around, and don't go anywhere because we actually have something to announce right after the break. So we have returned playing The Company, a very special limited series in the Resident Evil universe. Where we just left off, a bunch of shit had happened because Chase Oberweiss, our visiting executive, had decided to ask for a demonstration, and Miss Davis was more than happy to collect some more data. So the room was sealed. Somebody was infected. Another person got out inconsolably so, and while they tried to incinerate the creature that Miss Davis had created, it is now loose somewhere within this Tricell facility. And our current party all of them, including Dr. Bishop, who, as unhelpful as she is just as adamant about getting to safety, following behind you and the two guards who are escorting you to the security headquarters, or the main security room of this building. They are takes about 10 minutes-ish to get there. It's on the upper floor, and before I explain what you guys end up seeing, everybody in chat, I mentioned that we had a very special thing going on today, and because we've got Logan was gracious enough to give us a physical copy of the company, which is 2 books. You probably can't see it here, but there are 2 books, the management guide as well as the player's handbook in a beautifully bound. I genuinely, I love the material and the way that this is written. It very much feels like awful company propaganda. It's great. It's so well done. But we are giving away. What?
I made those by hand.
I love it.
So glad you like them.
No, I'm very pleased. I love the design
fantastic.
of tabletop games, so these are way cool. But we are giving away a physical copy to somebody in the chat. Cole, our glorious leader at TPK, is going to initiate that. What I need from everybody in chat, players can be included if you would like, since y'all are participating and do not have a copy. But what I need from you is to give me, let's see. We're in the middle of a pandemic right now. It is appropriate. What I need from everybody is to, in chat, go ahead and just message, raffle as it is discovered, as it is determined just now, which has just started, and tell me the one thing you are excited for most when maybe we can get out of this gosh darn pandemic and back to some semblance of normal. And you've only got 2.5 minutes left. Cole, you are
minutes, guys.
burning,
Go
dude.
for it.
God damn, I thought this was going to be a little bit longer. Throw down, folks, because that physical copy is going quick.
Ignore the fact that there's a pandemic. We've already broken quarantine. It's fine. Just hit raffle.
You guys are in quarantine, and back to the narrative of the story. When you get to the room, Franny is correct. The emergency lights and power that is presented gives you only visual through the CCTV cameras on the most important portions of the facility. This includes the main floor as well as the sub-level where all of the biomedical research is. And as Miss Davis was explaining, or Dr. Davis, my apologies, as Dr. Davis was explaining, the Las Plagas parasite, as aggressive as this version is, functions like a hive. And as you all get scrambled to the security cameras and lock yourselves in this room, both guards inside against the door once again, the creature that you have created is currently just destroying that lab in any attempt to release the multiples of the specimen that you have kept there. Glass is all over the place. The vast majority of your duplicate samples, Miss Davis, are gone. You see it only for a moment when you arrive and start viewing all of these cameras before it is gone again. But what that tells you is, if not dealt with quickly or found a way to escape or whatever, your problem will get worse. And for the mechanics of the game, you are looking at 2 new clocks available for things to become more prevalent to you. The first is your enemy presence. We've got 4 4 notches on that clock. The first one has just been filled in. The second one is the building integrity. How much damage these things are doing to stuff as they are burning through this building. You've got 6 notches on that clock. Currently one of those filled in as of now. And whatever you guys are hoping to do, y'all better do it. Because they are wreaking havoc, and there are a lot of employees chilling in this building. As well, something to note for all of you mechanically. Y'all have a job listed in your character sheets. All of your character sheets, those specific jobs are how you earn drive. You can use that drive to bolster your rolls for certain things, or, you know, you can use it to level up. Since this is a multi-part episode, that job is something to keep in mind. As you successfully complete things that are in line with your corporate duties, you gain that drive. So, keep those on the back burner as we proceed. You were all locked down in the security office. What are you doing?
I'm wondering, I figure since the power's off, there's not any necessarily that much stuff online, but I'm wondering if we have any sort of automated security systems that would help with containment. Yeah.
Well,
I could try and trap it somewhere in a specific portion of the building. We are running on unlimited power right now, though, so I might have to like drop power away from some other part of the building, which would mean like all the lights would go out, or something else bad like that.
All right. I know we don't have that many cameras, but we only need so many to keep an eye on the thing. Do you think it's, Franny, do you think it's also possible to search the building for other survivors?
Like, how do you mean? Search the building? Like, we could use the cameras to try and find it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like flipping through the cameras, like turning certain ones off, turning other ones on to check certain areas, see if we can find survivors.
Yeah. I can try and do that.
okay.
Can I try and do that?
Yeah, Franny, give me a search roll.
Can I? It's not. I can't use hack.
Could I assist? Somehow?
Portia, how are you assisting?
I think if Franny is like flipping through cameras, I can like watch the other screens and just be like, wait, go back.
Okay, so you're using just physical eyes on the various computers so that they don't have to scan as much. Okay. And Franny, because you are directly using these as you're rerouting power every once in a while to, you know, get to as many cameras as you can, I will allow hack to be involved in that if you would like. Makes sense to me.
And for my career, I have tech. Does that count as well?
Yes. I'll give it to you.
Yay! And part of my loadout is an electronic toolkit, which gives me +1 hack. So I get to roll 3 dice.
Okay.
Would an indirect assist apply if I'm looking for the specimen specifically? Not really anybody else, but the specimen.
So your role, if you're trying to find the specimen during these guys doing their thing, they are specifically looking for survivors, so I will let you look for it, but it's going to be a separate role. It won't be assisting these guys.
Valid. So I've just got pretty much it demolishing my lab and going...
Yeah, so you are just watching the cameras as these guys are actually doing the work involved in the cameras, so yours will just be a search roll. You guys go ahead and roll yours related. Portia, you'll roll for search. Franny, you will roll the dice that we had just specified. Between the two of you, this will be a gradient scale, kind of, you know, how much you are seeing. So just tell me how many successes you're grabbing.
Yep.
Okay.
Would you count aware in this, or is that a separate thing? I think I'm unclear about that.
Aware, if you don't mind. Aware
go for
you
it.
can use as it mostly functions as initiative, and like a passive
Okay.
like perception type feeling.
Okay.
Yeah. So based on that, no, we're not. I'm
Gotcha.
not including that here.
So I rolled 3 dice,
Okay.
and my highest was a 2.
Oh, what?
I'm
I feel bad
trying my
for
best,
you.
y'all.
Portia,
I
you rolled
promise.
1 dice and it was a 10. Okay.
I'm trying my best, y'all. I promise. I don't do great under pressure. And I'm working with limited supplies here.
I think Portia is like standing behind you, and at this point she's like pulled her coveralls down so they're like tied around her waist because she's given up all pretense of like being fancy, and she's got like a hand on your shoulder, and she's like, just go through it. I'm keeping an eye out.
Franny, your highest was a 2. How many 1s did you get?
I got rolled 2 2s and a 1.
Okay. I'm a be.
How much stress do I get?
Yeah, we're gonna give you 3 stress.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah, we're gonna give you 3 stress. Go ahead and roll for burnout for me.
Which is just a D10 plus my stress.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or well, it's gonna be a D10 against your stress. So you suffer burnout if you roll under 3.
Oh, okay. So I want to roll high.
Quick question. How are we doing advantages and disadvantages in this? Because Franny has +2, and then Theodore has advantage, and I have a disadvantage.
We're gonna say
there's also another +2 to red light.
Oh goodness, yeah, people are throwing down for extra help. Very nice. All right, so advantage is going to add a roll to your add a die to your pool. Disadvantage is going to take a die from your pool.
Okay.
We're going to let +2s and -2s just exist as they are a D10. Those still make sense to me.
Okay.
Rolled a 9 on that.
Okay. So you're good. You're still accruing stress, but no burnout yet. Portia, if you had any stress, you can take one of those away. What you see is disconcerting, though. Oh, go ahead.
Does team stress go off here? Because
yep.
I don't know if that counts as failing a roll, depending on whether or not my assist counts as the roll succeeding.
So you are helping, but in the case of this, there is team stress that's going to be involved. Everybody's going to take stress from this, but that's based on Franny. I'm still going to give you information, though, because you guys are kind of individually looking. It makes sense to me that you would be still finding stuff personally.
Yeah, other players take stress when I fail a hack or tech roll. So.
Yep. So...
Whoopsies.
Yeah, you took 3. Let's give everybody else 2.
Okay.
Because you guys went to the security office really hoping, because
really
Franny's
hoping we could get something.
Yeah, Franny knows what they're doing. They led you here, and is convinced that all of this is gonna benefit you guys, and just kind of beefing it this whole time.
I have one job. I'm so sorry, everyone. I'm under an enormous amount of pressure lately, and I'm gonna be honest, things have not been great at home. My little dog is sick.
Franny, it's okay. It's okay.
Just
You're
breathe.
doing your best.
Just breathe.
All right.
Portia, however.
We're gonna pull through, okay?
Okay. All right.
Okay. Compared to where we are in the facility, where would I guess we still have roles to resolve, but I want to know where where the power break or power supply is, because I want to go fix it.
Yes.
So that we aren't.
And you would know, main power supply is in the sublevel. There is an elevator right next to the security office that would take you to the sublevel if it had power. But it is currently out of power, so the nearest stairwell to get into the sublevel is probably down a couple of hallways from where you're at right now.
I would like to use my ability, which is shortcut. Once permission, the engineer can identify a bypass corridor between 2 points that employees can use for the remainder of the mission.
Ooh, okay. So, you're sitting there watching, and what you see on these screens is, this is a fully employed office, despite the fact that you five were managing this, particular presentation and observing the presentation, and then all the extraneous people that were there. This place is filled with people, and you are looking at bodies or people running, but that body count in ratio to people trying to find a way out of the building that they didn't realize was locked down, that ratio is starting to shift. And you can see the carnage through a couple of these CCTVs as it's burning through the building. But as you're thinking on this, you know the layout of this building very well, and you look at the power and take a second. The elevator's not going to help you, but there are ducts in this building from the security office that could, given your particular lead and expertise, knowing that these things will support the weight of a person, because this is a big building and a lot of air needs to move around, you could get directly to the power room, the generator room, from here by taking the duct underneath the CCTV desk.
I feel like I have some sort. Oh yeah, I have a compact toolkit.
Yeah, you can unscrew the thing.
I kind of look at the monitors and I'm like, okay, and I pop underneath the desk and start unscrewing the panel.
Okay. Sounds good. So you unscrew that panel. I'm not going to make you roll for that because it's a screwdriver. That's fine. Is anybody else doing anything while she's working on this?
Miss Fern, does this facility have a PA?
Yes, I could. Yes.
Mr. Armel, would you want to maybe tell people to calm down?
I can try. Right, do we have power to the
hear a "go fuck yourself"?
You do have power to the PA.
Get that a lot.
This is a building that is prepped for emergency, and one of the things that power is still routed to is the PA. People need to know what's going on. So if you would like to use that, you can. I will need a guile roll from you.
Just press this button and speak, honey.
Oh, guile. That's nice. Okay, let's see.
Would you allow his medicine roll to be applied to that?
His what?
Since he's working with medicine, since he's working with people to try to.
You drive a hard bargain, but I'll take it. Treating for shock is one of a medic's jobs.
All right, so I will do that. Thank you. And yeah, I'm also going to voluntarily take a point of stress to get another into that roll.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay. And I got a 10, a 9, and a 7.
Okay. Very good. All right. So you, if you have any stress, go ahead and take one off of that. And then tell me what you're telling the people.
So Theo does walk up to the thing, presses the button, and says, "Attention, all employees. This is Dr. Theodore Armel speaking. We are currently under lockdown. Please, I would ask everyone to calmly and find a area to secure themselves while security forces deal with the incident. This matter will be taken care of promptly. However, it will be far easier to handle the situation so long as we all maintain a level head. Bunker down, secure your positions, and hold out. Security forces and others will be around to help."
The response comes across as very corporate, but this place, again, is prepped for emergencies, and that is enough for people to recognize that, oh, hey, we're not listening to the thing that we keep getting trained on. Maybe those drills are a good thing. and folks spend the time clustering up, and you can see some communication over the CCTVs of different individuals as they kind of form groups and find rooms and buckle down for whatever is about to happen. So you have feasibly cleared the hallways. It may take a minute. A couple people, there are still bodies in the hallways up to this point, but there is the good majority of the employees have found somewhere to find shelter. Laura, you rolled for search. What did you get?
I went ahead and rolled my series because I rolled a 2 in an initial one, and I went ahead and took the disadvantage, so that put me at a critical failure. So I took...
I forgot I had an advantage.
2 stress.
Yeah, I took 2 stress and a burnout. So
Okay.
I did that. I'm sitting at 4 stress, and I rolled an 8 for my burnout,
Okay,
which
so
puts
you're
me
good
at
there.
a -1 to all rolls for 2 hours, because I went ahead and rolled that too.
Wait, so hold on. So you rolled burnout, you got an 8, but you only have 4
Yes.
stress, so you're good. You don't need to roll on the burnout table in that case then. Because the initial burnout roll is against your stress. If you roll under your stress level,
Then you take
then
the
you
burnout.
take the burnout. Yep.
Got you.
So you're
Okay.
good. You were getting more stress,
I was
but no
I was
burnout
full
yet.
ready. I was full ready.
Nah, you second guessing yourself. So
So that's mostly just gonna end up being her taking notes where she can, just muttering under her breath about like, drone starts to behave similar characteristics to what possibly could be a queen plagas. It's taking the initial role of one, freeing its other drones
and while
to essentially encapsulate more hosts.
yes, it is. And while you may not have found eyes on the specimen or any of what it is reproducing by collecting the specimens that it had, you also notice in the destruction of your lab, as you're perusing that information, kind of ruminating on the fact that a lot of what you had was just stolen by one of its own. You remember those dogs that you experimented on that you kept?
Unfortunately.
Yeah, they're gone too.
Oh, gentlemen, you might want to be aware of some very, very aggressive canines. If they sprout tentacles and more teeth, those ones you might want to put down. Those are expendable.
Has that happened before?
There
No,
were reports from where the samples came from that kind of said otherwise. Why did we have those again?
That's a great question.
At this
Armel
point,
is looking
Portia
directly
sticks-
at Davis when he says this.
as I recall, Davis didn't sign into the law about testing on higher intelligence animals such as dogs, like most of the U.S. did.
Correct.
Seeing as we are based in Africa.
Correct. It's also why these
would like to-
facilities are undisclosed. Because
I'd like to point out we are on
Keep those
American
avoided.
soil, though. And I kind of like dogs. So why are we doing these to dogs again?
Because they were one of the closest to a human intelligence specimens that we could acquire.
At this point, Portia sticks her head out from under the desk and says, "Okay, so which of you motherfuckers is coming with me?
Where?
We're gonna get power back onto this facility. We're gonna, and she like says this through extremely gritted teeth. We're gonna lock down the assets."
Ooh, I like that. I'll come with you, and I'll pull a gun out.
I love it. Just out from the ski mask.
It's a very- it's
Portia,
very
On my
nice.
shoulder holster.
Portia's jaw drops at that. It's just like, that was the last thing I was expecting. Anyone else?
And then I'll.
So
I'll-
unless
Oh, go ahead.
you expect me to do surgery on the generator, I don't think I'll be very much help.
2 heavy
I can-
impacts against the door.
Oh, I'll come with.
Never mind, I'm going.
Nobody's gonna withstand that. Everybody's just like, I don't like noise. We're going.
Noise was bad last time.
Sing, do we have view of what's inside the hallway?
Imagine so. Imagine that's the main hallway out there.
What's in the hallway? I want to know.
Okay. Oh, Portia, please.
All I was gonna say is, as like, because I'm not gonna stick around to deal with that. But I am gonna look over at Oberweiss and say, "You got the gun. You go first."
Fair.
When does the agents go first?
And I'll look at Wuhan and Baxter and be like, "Can you make sure these ones stay alive?" And then I'll duck under.
Oh no, it's all right. We can send we can send Liam first.
Who?
And Franny will like reach in to her pocket and pull out this little like maybe like 8-inch circular little drone. Like the ring of propellers around it, little like camera sort of sensor thing in the front. And this is Liam. He's my buddy. I made him. He's great. He has cameras that I can look through. He can scout. He can take some readings.
Oh, so you're the source of that
there's
annoying
danger?
contraption.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. She didn't mean it.
No, I meant it.
I mean, we'll have
and
to
Liam
talk
chirp
about
if there's danger?
unauthorized tech at another point in time, but I'm for it.
What was that, Portia?
Just completely
Liam,
ignored the
chirp
executive.
or like talk to us if something's going on, because I just don't know how we're gonna know what Liam is seeing.
Camera. I have like a little data pad thing.
So you're coming with us through the vent.
Yes, I don't want to be in this room anymore. I no longer feel secure here.
Wuhan and Baxter are both checking their weapons, and they've both turned their backs on you, face towards the door, hearing these like repeated slams against the door itself. You're not seeing any structural damage, but if you check the security cameras, because one of them is directly outside of this room, considered an essential function in a lockdown, you are looking at 3 dogs that are not pleased.
Oh, there they are.
Okay, you go first, Liam. I believe in you.
You sound happy about that.
Okay.
Well, we know where they are.
So
It is only 3 of them.
Liam
How many
flies
were there?
first. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
How many dogs were there?
Only
3 that
Just
survived.
Good lord.
I found my new favorite class.
Okay.
Sorry.
So
Hey, Chase, you're next. Can I call you
yeah.
Chase?
And then yeah, I'll roll my sleeves up and get into this duct. Oh man,
okay.
is clean this ever?
Fuck
This-
you, man. Nobody goes through the ducts unless they have to.
Chase Oberweiss has definitely hunted things he shouldn't have hunted.
I come from milk money.
Milk money. Yeah, that's
Bastards.
that's a family that probably has mounted things on its wall that they shouldn't have.
Took a
Um,
picture with a giraffe in Africa.
Yep, that sounds the type. Okay.
As we crawl through this duct with the drone in front of us,
Uh-huh.
Portia relates a little story from her mom, who is a beekeeper. You know what happens in some hives of bees? You know, hive insects. Sometimes when there's not a queen around, a random little worker will just be born as a queen. They build a little sideways cell for it, and the new queen gets made.
Can I be able to hear that from the duck because it's echoing?
Are you okay? Yeah. So let me get a point of clarification first. Raise of hands. Who all is actually going down this duct, and who's staying in this room with the guards? Okay, cool.
I love that.
If you know what, if they're starting to break through, I'll leave. But you know what? I have cameras.
Again, no structural damage to the door itself yet. So you've got the 4 of you and the drone going down the pipe. Dr. Davis, Dr. Bishop, Richardson, and then the 2 guards are staying in the guard room then.
A room full of
Magnolia's
NPCs.
there too, right?
Say again?
Magnolia's there too, right?
Margaret?
You mean Margaret?
Yes,
yeah, Margaret Bishop.
Margaret.
So Dr. Bishop.
Oh, Bishop.
Yep.
I'm gonna be honest. I forgot Dr. Richardson was here.
Oh,
You
he's
know
not
what?
a
I forgot
doctor.
Richardson was here.
You don't
so-
have to call him doctor. He's just
Oh,
management.
okay. Cool.
Okay, yeah, so you would probably hear a little bit of that echoing down the duct. Not as much as you'd like, because there are 4 people and a drone in that duct, but...
You know what? I'm gonna say I heard enough about bee workers becoming queen. Be like, that's exactly what I speculated.
They, however, have no idea of this, because they have a drone with propellers echoing directly in front of them.
But yeah, so Theodore is just going to be like, so yeah, we're not telling Davis about this story when we get back at all. She'll be insufferable.
She'll probably say that like she predicted it or something.
Hey, Franny, give me a search roll for your drone who flew ahead of you.
Oh boy. Search. Can I add tech to this? Because I'm using tech.
Yeah, I'll give it that.
Woo! Oh, all right. Well, I get a die. 'Cause I have
That's
nothing in
something.
search. 'Cause I have nothing in search. That's a 4, but can I use both of my +2s? 'Cause I got 2 +2s from chat.
4, 6, 8.
Get it up to 8, which is a partial success.
Yeah, I mean it's a success without a
Yeah.
gain of stress. So yeah, I'll allow that if you want to burn both at the same time.
Yeah, I'd like to succeed at something, please.
Yeah. So
And he deserves it.
what you see, whether or not you want to disclose it to Portia, is 2 of her engineering members of her department got to the power station first, and both of them have been turned.
Oh, that's...
There are two. We can call them what they are. It's Resident Evil. There are 2 zombies in the power room, just kind of stuck there. These don't appear to be as virulent or aggressive as the main one that you were tracking, but they are still definitely not friendlies.
Is it
Oh.
more actual viral or is it more parasite?
These still appear to be Los Plagas.
So Granados is the technical term.
Yes.
I'm sorry,
enough.
I've been playing RE4 all day.
Appreciate it. Yeah, you guys have been, you and Shock have been doing a marathon of Resident Evils. I forgot that.
We
It-
do have two engineers in the room ahead of us, who are in. They've been infected, but I'm gonna be honest.
As-
I would rather deal with them than the dogs.
Yeah.
I have a question for you, Mads.
Yes.
If I pull like a large pipe wrench out of my kit, can I treat that as a knife?
I mean, since there's not the difference between slashing and bludgeoning, if you're beating someone to death with a pipe wrench, I'm pretty sure that's not going to be
Yeah.
any less pleasant than a knife. I'll allow that for sure.
Cool.
I feel like other than the stipulation that it can be thrown, this is
Yeah,
applicable.
it's not thrown for sure, but
Cool. As I like sigh and pull out a pipe wrench, do you know who on my team it is?
Well,
you do not know.
No, I do not.
Well, guess it's good that you're going first, Chase.
Yeah. Did you? It's your team. Is this? Do you want to? You don't want to take? You know. All right. I will.
If looks could kill.
Is this? Are we opening a duct?
Yes. So you would drop down. Where you are at right now. You are about 5 feet off the floor, exiting the duct on a wall. If you were to push it out.
Cool. I'm going to attempt to do this quietly.
Okay.
With the sneak.
Yes.
Which I do have a die in. I'll take the stress. Or this is a physical, so I would take damage. I'm not gonna take the stress. I'm gonna add my guile to this roll using my my slimy perk, which lets me add my guile to any roll once an hour.
Okay. All right.
So I'm going to roll 3. I got an 8.
Okay. Definitely a success then.
So I don't know how difficult it is.
I mean, you are pushing out a duct. One success is fine to make sure that people are not alerted from you for opening the duct and being able to enter the space. So you managed to give it a pop and then kind of lean it to the side and set it on a shelf so it doesn't just fall to the floor, because you are, up a little bit higher. And initially, you personally don't have any eyes on either of these two creatures that the drone did. The room is a scatter with various shelves. As much as it is a power room, it is also looks like a storage room for a lot of the engineering and repair equipment. So there is everything from paint cans to touch up the upper aesthetic of the floors to screwdrivers and various toolboxes with the individuals' numbers and things on them for different employees when they go out, to fix something.
Okay. Just trying to not alert these dudes.
Yeah. So you drop into the room quietly and are present in the space, standing. This is one of the rooms, again, as an essential function. It does have a red emergency light in it. So you have some light, but they are somewhere amongst the shelving. This duct is behind basically a wall of those mechanical shelves, so you don't have full eyes on anything right now.
Okay. McLaren, where am I going? Right or left? Where's this power?
Where's the power? Right or left?
You tell me. You're the engineer.
It's off on the left.
Okay. And I'll start making my way slowly, edging along the wall.
Okay. Okay.
Very Laura Dern in Jurassic Park.
Right. Just shimmying across the space, trying to avoid anything, any suspicions. The main power reset, which you do eventually get to, it takes you enough time to kind of skirt around these shelves that you are functionally separated from the party if they're all still in the vent.
I think
main...
I would be coming with.
Okay, are you
on
going
the off
with?
chance that something's broken.
Okay, give me a stealth roll then, or a sneak if you are going to go with in the same manner.
Way to lose. That's no points in that stat. That's a 1 and a 7, so I think I take the 1.
Can I do an assist on this one? Just to try to help her down.
Yeah, I'll go for it.
That's a 5, but I get a drive for helping.
Very good. So you said your highest roll was a 7?
Highest roll was a 7.
Okay. So, there is a little bit of noise. Chase, you get down pretty quick. All is well. You try to help Portia down. You get one foot down, and she lowers the other foot, and you try to grab it, and she slips. And whether you offer some quiet expletive under your breath or her foot, hits that side shelf you put the duct on, there is some noise that resonates through the space. You're not sure if it was intense enough to bring anybody to your attention, as there's no, immediate response from it. But you're also hearing the, backup generators in this space, so you're not 100% sure. That being said, both of you skirt the edge of this wall, and you get to the main power supply, which is kind of off in the corner where you can see the damage. There is a pipe, or kind of one of the metal housings that has all of main power lines and things in it, that's bolted to the concrete of this sub-level engineering room. Has been severed. Not intentionally, but it looks like when the creature that Dr. Hin is now burst through the wall, he pushed through that space unintentionally and had broken that power line off of the wall and disconnected it from the main box.
Okay. Can I engineer repair this? I assume that there's gear and other stuff I can use to bridge any conductors that are splayed too far.
Yeah, there are things that you could use to splice it together. I'm going to say for this, help or otherwise, we are looking at 3 successes in order to get power back online to this facility in good form.
Pretty good at repairing things. I can try and help.
Great. Because I can.
Yeah, I can assist you, Portia.
I'm just gonna go. I'll watch out.
Liam will too.
Okay.
Thanks.
I like this.
That's directed at Chase, not at Franny.
Very idle, thanks. Alright, so Portia and Franny. Collectively, we are looking for 3 successes against a repair roll. You can add engineer to this, but tech will not help you here. This is a power line.
Mm-hmm. I have 2 repair.
Oh, nice. All right.
I got an 8 on one of them.
Okay.
773.
773 and 18. Chase, give me an...
The other one was a 2, if that's important.
A 2? No, I mean we're just taking highest at the moment.
I am Chase.
Yes, you are Chase. Give me an aware roll.
Oh.
Are you though?
10.
Are you really?
10. Okay. I'm gonna... Portia and Franny, you will... Portia, you're our engineer, yeah?
I am our engineer, and technically other players take stress when
Yes,
the engineer
you do.
fails repair or engineer rolls.
In the sake of the fact that there are just the 3 of you down there, Chase and Franny, you are going to take 2 stress, as are you, Portia. Theodore, you are, unless I'm misinterpreting, it sounds like you're still in the duct.
Yep.
So no stress there, because you don't know what's going on.
Solid play.
Could we attempt to push the roll?
Would you like to try and push the roll?
I would like to try and push the roll. How much stress can I take at pushing a roll?
Well, it's going to double any stress. If you fail this one collectively, you will all take 4 stress.
Do the successes from the previous roll carry over here or not?
Yes.
Okay.
So you're looking at
So we
1
only
success so far. You need 2 more.
We only need 1 more amongst 5 dice, right?
Yeah.
You got an 8. Everybody else got the other highest was a 7.
Oh,
so you
right,
need
a
2
7.
successes.
Yeah.
Well, and you'll still take that original amount of stress. But
Okay.
if you mess up, you'll just take double as well.
Double as well, or double total?
So you end up with
Uh,
6 at the end of this.
That's it.
Ooh,
I'm okay.
juicy.
Okay.
Play to lose. Let's go.
Worth it. Let's do it. I rolled another 8.
Okay.
Jesus Christ! Can I take stress right now to add dice to this roll? I'm not about it.
How much you adding?
I want to add 2 dice.
We are breaking the bank here, folks.
You
Go
know
for
what?
it. Take 2 stress, roll 2 dice. Let's see what happens as you are in a panic at this point. You're the engineer and you can't figure this shit out.
Double 10s!
Hell yeah! All right.
Bitchin'.
So you can remove those 2 stress.
But you still get the
The initial 2 stress.
you still get you all take the initial 2 stress, but that will be considered success on the repair. Now, this will take time. That pushed roll, there is some time involved in this repair and your panic and everything. Chase, while this is happening, you rolled a critical success on that aware check. You can take 1 stress off for that. And based on that success, from your vantage point, you are seeing silhouetted in the red of this light downstairs, those 2 creatures that were the rest of the Portia's specific, or part of Portia's specific engineering team, are starting to lumber your direction. In that silhouette, it appears that one of them is carrying a monkey wrench, and the other one doesn't have anything on it at the moment, unarmed currently, but I mean, still not pleasant. You probably don't want to. But if you're looking at the failures and Franny and Portia's concerns here, you will need to alert or intervene or distract or something while they finish that repair.
Yeah. Let's I got this gun. I'm gonna whisper over and be like, do you have this under control, Portia? Seems like
Yes, I have
Great.
it under fucking control.
just making
Shut
sure.
up.
Okay. Well,
It's under control. It's all fine. Promise.
I'm gonna
It's all good.
go make sure these monsters don't kill us, and I'm going to like stalk off into the shadows.
Okay. Okay.
I'm gonna try to get close without alerting them.
Okay. Yeah. Give me another.
How far I'm like how far away were they when?
This is I mean, in total, this room is no more than like 30 feet in any direction. It's just the density of these people are just packing shit on these shelves that make it hard to navigate.
Got it. And there's big toolboxes all over.
There are toolboxes and things all over. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and sneak around because that's kind of my garbage nature.
Fair enough.
I'm gonna try and get behind them.
Okay. Yeah. Give me another sneak roll.
That's a 3.
Okay. So some stress there, but what also, I mean, to your benefit, they're no longer paying attention to the 2 repairing the electrical, but both of them recognize the movement as you accidentally knock a screwdriver off of one of these shelves that you're skirting around, and you hear it clamber to the ground, and they both turn to the sound of that and begin moving towards you. Theodore, you probably don't see this directly. Again, the vent is not in a great place to have full vantage, but you can hear the sounds of these 2 creatures, making movements across the space, and you heard that screwdriver drop.
Yeah, I'm just going to slip out of the vent and look around in the area for something sturdy to grab as a weapon as I sneak up on them to try and help out from another angle.
Okay, yeah, give me a sneak roll.
All right, thank
Chase,
you.
what are you doing while he's lowering himself down?
I excel heavily. Okay. Hi, I'm Chase Oberweiss. It's nice to. I always love meeting, you know, the hardworking folks at Tricell. I'm sure you're having a rough day. I'm having a rough day too. Anything I can help?
About 10 feet out, no response other than
Nothing?
unintelligible grumbles.
All right, well, I tried, and then I'm just gonna start shooting.
Then I start. So anyway, I started blasting.
Then I started blasting.
Can we in the fiction of this say that like the reason we failed that first roll is those shots popping off?
Fair. All of a sudden, gunfire in a 30-foot room as it rings out against the concrete, and you're like, "Oh God!" Yeah. So, go ahead and give me a combat roll there.
Okay, so I have 4 on these. How close are they?
Damn. You're looking at 10, 15 feet.
Okay, so not close enough to get advantage. Got it. Oh, that's a 10.
Okay. Very nice.
A 10, a 7, a 6, and a 1.
10, a 7, a 6, and a 1.
As I shoot 4 times.
And it's a shoot 4 times.
Well, I mean, like a combat attack with the gun is like one hole. I have to reload it now.
Got it. Okay, so each success on that is met with conflict in. These are going to be body. They're zombies. They ain't trying to dodge this. Let me see here. Or I guess health, yeah, agility. Okay. What about the other guy? Okay. So you spray fire towards both of these zombies. 4 shots unloaded. The first 2 pretty convincingly center mass to the face and then right to the sternum. And the first zombie falls to the floor and slumps over dead, just bleeding all over the place. The other 2, by the time you fired those 2 shots off, recoil has messed up your aim, and both of the shots go wide off of the second. Theodore, what'd you roll for that sneak?
2 separate 10s.
Very nice. Okay. So you functionally grab a length of... You know what? You rolled critical successes. What are you picking up out of this engineering room to start swinging?
I mean, it would be hilarious if something from my normal wheelhouse was here, but it's too modern day for that to exist. But let's see. What would makes Let's go with a fire axe.
Okay. It's probably the only one in there, but you pass by it and take it off the shelf, and go to start taking swings based on 2 critical successes against each other. Go ahead and take. I'll give you both. Go ahead and take 2 stress off, and then before I let this zombie do something, if you're gonna take a swing. After avoiding the 2 shots that Chase just popped off, go ahead and make a combat roll.
Okay. Ooh, well, that's not good.
Don't love that.
All right. So. Does the actually? I guess the closest thing would be. Yeah, no, it just adds damage. It does not add anything to the attack rolls. So, well, that's not good. I got a 5.
Okay. So 1 stress as you sneak up behind this thing, just super quiet. Takes a full swing And as the gunshots ring off into your, in the direction of that zombie, one of them hits the broadside of that axe that you are dropping down. And as it impacts and skids off the side of the fire axe, you panic a little bit and lose your swing. And that is enough ring in the ear of the side of that zombie that it's turning to attack you.
So, it's good and bad that I completely forgot. Yet again, I still have an advantage in the tank.
Yeah.
So that's a conflict check for me, either body or dodge.
Either body or dodge.
What does it say about our group when the medic is the tank?
Well, I mean, isn't that how clerics work?
I don't play D&D. I wouldn't know.
That's true. Fair enough.
All right. Well, I am going to go with a dodge, and I got a 9.
Got a 9?
Mm-hmm.
This guy, good lord, I feel bad actually. It's 2 for combat. I rolled double 10s. So you are still taking. I'll negate one of those, but you're still taking 2 damage to your health for that. And I would like you, because this is the first real impact that you have had with these, I would like you to make a burnout roll for initial damage from any of these creatures.
Okay. Well, I'm fine then. I got a 10.
Very nice. All right, so damage done. For a moment, there's a little bit of panic, but you reconnect to whatever dark past you were harboring, because it sounds like you had dealt with other stuff in the past that you hadn't addressed earlier in the game. So something clicks with you, and you just shrug it off and start to keep going. Franny, Portia, you are about ready to finish all of this. At this point, I'm cool with just rolling this order as it was. Chase, you would be up in this 3-person combat at this point.
Got it. Yeah, sorry, I was mistaken on my own rules. It was 1 round per turn. So I will fire again.
Okay.
There's one of these, two of these left?
There's one of these left. The other one died. Based on the old rolls, at least.
Now I can see Theodore is here as well.
Yeah, Theodore. Well, yeah. So Theodore is in melee range of this thing. He just swung the axe at it.
I have 2 10s.
Very nice. Okay.
A 6 and a 1.
And it only gets 1 dice on that, and that was a 4. So each die rolled in combat is a successful damage, correct?
Yes, it should be.
Okay. So, you take a swing, Theodore. It swings back and catches you across the chest. And as its back is to Chase, Chase puts 2 in its back, and it slumps and kind of hits the front of you before falling to the side and flopping over.
Yeah, I just shove it off.
Both of the zombies in this space are... Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Chase.
Oh, it's fine. It's just... I ought to say something like, it's always rough hunting people.
I don't like that sentence at all.
A dangerous game, anybody?
Oberweiss?
What's up? You okay? Did I hit you?
No. It's fine. But...
Not physically, but emotionally.
Yeah, as he's floundering over whether or not he wants to disclose his discomfort, the lights in the facility, both the subfloor and the upper floor, so Laura and everybody else in the security room would see this and feel this. The lights all turn back on. You can hear the air start to, recirculate through the air ducts. Things are working again, functionally.
Yahtzee.
The party is still broken up, and Well, hold on. I'm gonna roll just to see if I do want to do. I'm gonna do that. Okay. Well,
Okay.
that was in the reset of power to a
Uh-oh.
space.
You don't have to do this. It's a
Um,
choice you're making.
All of the doors cycle.
Lovely.
Yeah, I saw that coming.
Yep. You reset the power to the space, and all of the doors cycle through to make sure that they are all working and up to snuff. And in that brief moment, you all, back up in that security office, managed to get locked in that security office, in that one open and close, with 3 real angry dogs.
Well, this is a terrible security system.
Before we cut away,
Yes.
I look at the camera and I look at the nearest camera and I look at Chase and I say, "This is my 2 weeks."
Ah.
That's fair.
So, with a successful power return, nothing ticks down on that building integrity clock, but the time it took you all to get down there and resolve the power and things, one portion of the clock for your enemy presence has just been filled in as well.
So we're at 2 of 4.
You are at 2 of 4.
That's half.
That is correct. Good job. That sounded really sassy. I apologize. But...
Never apologize for sass. You hear me?
Laura,
Yes.
3 dogs,
I'm in a room full of NPCs.
an open vent, and a lot of NPCs. I'm gonna give you the quick answer. Are you gonna fight and find out what happens, or are you dipping?
Bye.
Okay. Give me then a where is it? Yeah, give me a dodge roll just for slipping out the vent way.
You know what? I'm gonna add a stress to this.
Okay.
So that I can have more than 1 dice. Ah! One of my dice fell off the table. We're rolling another one. That's a 10 and a 6. It worked in my favor.
Very good. Yeah. So with a 10, you can go ahead and negate the stress that you just did from the one coming in because it was a critical. So minus that 1 stress from the stress that you took for the extra die, and you slip out the vent. As you slip out the vent, all of you hear gunshots as the security room lights up with the 2 officers that are in there with their assault rifles as those dogs enter. The results of that combat, y'all will not know because Laura just bailed. But the 4 of you, I mean, out of that context, hear gunshots through that vent. The door on the opposite side also cycles on the engineering room, so that is open and available if you want to move through the subfloor that direction. But what are your next moves? What's your plan?
Well, first off, I am looking at Portia, seeing that she is stressed, and I just quietly offer a pill, just a painkiller. Yeah, well, let's be honest, it's a Valium.
Yeah, I take it, and as I work up the spit to swallow it, I look at Chase and I say, "Nice work on this, Chief. Real top brain thinking."
Just
All right, and so just so you know, that removes 3 stress right off the bat.
Ooh, love that.
That's very entertaining
However-
to think about.
Yeah.
You're going to need to roll a 1d10.
Don't say however.
Roll a 1d10, please.
yep.
It's a 7.
Well,
So pretty much for the remainder of this, you are drugged up enough that you're rolling minus 1 die for lots of things.
You know what? Sounds about right for Valium.
He's the one who
Speaking
said
as somebody who's on it.
Could have just been a real nice ibuprofen, but you said Valium, and now she's fucked up. Like,
You know what? I'd rather be fucked up than experiencing this in full surround sound.
You know what?
Well-
It's easier to experience the trauma when you're dissociating. That's
Look,
That's a
and
terrible
also,
sentence.
this
Scientific
but
makes
fact.
it so you
true.
don't question why the medic is constantly carrying around Valium.
I wasn't going to, but now I'm curious.
Yeah. You put that thought in my
Cons-
mind.
Considering
I-
Valium takes about 4 hours to activate, yeah, I'm curious too.
It gets
Look,
quick release.
Valium
Like I said,
Anyways,
He's been working here for the
if,
better part of a decade.
Oberweiss.
He's
What are we up
close to
to?
breaking point.
If Wuhan and Baxter are down, we should probably try to get out of here.
Yeah, all right. Are we leaving the facility? Or are we still gonna try and find the find our friend? I know Dr. Davis said that she had some sort of countermeasures in her office. Do we want to go find those?
How well do y'all know Dr. Davis?
We have a very good professional rapport.
You should have fucking asked that before you asked her to kill somebody in front of all of us.
So,
They make a valid point.
yeah.
Probably, yeah, but I, have a job to do, just like everybody else. And if we're able to contain this specimen, then I would be for it. But as far as I know, your doctor friend is dead, so we should go figure that out.
You say this as shoes hit the concrete somewhere else in the room from behind those shelves. Lights are back on now, so you kind of squint a little bit, and Davis has just dropped out of the vent.
Dusting
wait.
herself off like
Guns
that
are
is
still going
grimy.
Wait,
Somewhat-
before the shoes
somewhat.
hit the floor, Portia absolutely says, Davis is too powered by spite to be dead.
And there goes my silver lining for the day.
Well, you are
quick
definitely
question.
correct in that.
Quick question. Protecting or repairing company assets and utilizing infrastructure to accomplish goals. Have we done that in using
Absolutely,
the shortcut?
I'll give you a
And
drive for that.
if
Getting that
one
power
of
back
both of
on,
them
100%.
happened, that would be 2. Because we
Protecting-
dipped through the...
Protecting company assets?
Protecting company assets, but also utilizing infrastructure to accomplish goals.
Utilizing infrastructure, yes. How are we protecting company assets?
Protecting or repairing.
Ah. Okay. All right.
Well,
Fair enough.
if we're
Yeah,
making these arguments,
I'll
can
throw
I,
down. I'll throw down 2 for that. That's a pretty major move right now.
if we're doing all this, can I fish for one drive for the whole I got people to hunker down and stop panicking?
Yes, I will absolutely give you a drive for that. That definitely counts under the role of a medic. Emergency response, man.
Would I be able to snag one for utilize digital assets to accomplish goals?
No, because you failed brutally. Portia was the one who succeeded on those security roles. I'm sorry.
It didn't hurt to ask.
That's fair. I appreciate the ask.
So since
Brandy,
I've been
no.
continuously doing research, do I get a try for that?
I'm going to determine yours at the end.
You know what?
'cause
Fair
you're-
enough.
You're kind of, oops.
Worst person
Yeah.
here.
Wild card. Hi.
Mine is act in the best interest of the company, and I'm just gonna not say anything right now.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
All right.
You owe me.
We'll discuss it. All 5 of you back, having this conversation about what is your next move. Where are you heading? What are you doing? As a note, you can also hear the gunfire has stopped. And at various places in the company, from what you can hear, there is commotion.
Has there been any direct screaming from behind me where...
Oh yeah, most certainly.
Dr. Davis, you said you had countermeasures in your office, or your lab. Should we make our way that direction to get those, and perhaps try and solve a little problem here?
Oh, Oh, yes, we can do what we can. However, I will confess most of my countermeasures apply to a specific subject. It was never meant to operate on a grand scale at a functional level. We can do what we can.
While this is happening, Portia is like lugging one of the heavier looking shelves to like sit in front of that vent that we've opened. I don't care if that's like an effective countermeasure, but she's doing it anyway.
That's fair. You take the time to just drag the one that was next to it in front of it. Hopefully buying you a little more time.
You were able to terminate 2 of the drones. And just going over and observing and collecting samples.
The zombies.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pick up and pocket the screwdriver that Theodore knocked down.
Okay.
And Theodore is just eyeing the axe and Davis's neck.
As during that examination period, Portia points Kane, Brett.
Say again?
Naming the employees who have died.
Oh, got it. Yep.
Kane and Brett, you said. That's what their names were?
Ward Kane, Elias Brett.
And they were just technicians, right? Same level as you were?
Even all of that, that's pretty cool.
Same level that I was.
Well, I think you still are for the next 2 weeks.
I mean, unless you want to put those 5 days PTO in, then it's just a week, really.
Technically speaking, on company policy, she has to go out those 5 days, then work 5 more days, and then do the 2 weeks.
Hey.
If we're looking at bylaws, anyway. But look at this. Look at this specimen. This is very intriguing.
Should we? Where are we
away
headed?
from me before I strangle her.
Yeah, so I'm actually going to impose here. I would like everybody other than Dr. Davis and Oberweiss to make a burnout roll at Davis just being a shit. Because y'all seem real fed up and just not having a good time right now.
I have 5 stress.
I'm happy to help, guys.
I rolled an 8. I'm good.
I rolled a 7. I'm fine as well.
Okay.
Wow.
Portia, you're good?
How much do I subtract from all of my rolls? It doesn't matter.
Well, no, so it's going to be your roll against your stress level. You just don't want to roll under your stress level.
I'm on Valium.
Yeah, but this is I don't think this
doesn't apply.
It doesn't count, yeah.
If it's above your current stress level, you're good.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't, like, not applying the negative from the Valium.
Fair enough.
I got a 10. I'm fine.
Okay, you're all good. You managed to keep composure.
I don't get my head bashed in. It's fine.
I don't think it's Bastion you need to worry about. We have enough firepower and sharp objects that...
Yeah, I'm not going to make Chase roll for that one because, well, he's kind of... feels vaguely within the same alignment as Dr. Davis.
You're not wrong.
But yeah, Davis, for once, I like the next
So,
hour,
where are you guys heading?
act like you have a soul.
Don't be ridiculous. Souls don't exist.
Could leave. I think I came in on a helicopter, right?
You did. And you do know, based on what was provided, because Scott Richardson was pretty explicit about it, now that the power's back on, you know that the key card that you personally carry will open any key carded door in the facility.
Right, I have a skeleton key. Great.
You do.
That sounds great to me. I do believe that now would be a good time to leave.
I will say, if we leave, I'm pretty sure Tricell just raised this place.
Of course, the last standard of procedure is to completely wipe out the facility to make sure containment isn't breached.
Absolutely. We probably have... I'd be surprised if they didn't have a team on the way here. already.
If we learned anything from Umbrella's failure, it's that.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, then
Does that or does that not include them nuking us?
Oh no, that was the U.S. government, not Umbrella.
Yeah, that was private.
Yeah, the
no.
worst we can expect is napalm.
I mean, they'd probably send like an HK team in just to clear everything out.
Well, I suggest then that we make our way out of the facility before it is set ablaze, and we find as many people as we can on our way out to take with us. I would hate for more people to get hurt today than we need to. But also I know I don't want to be here any longer.
I also don't want to be here anymore.
I think that is the consensus, except for
Oh,
Davis.
fantastic.
Good plan. Okay.
Right,
I don't
but she's
know how many
scary,
people we
so
get on the helicopter though.
The
Oh,
helicopter
well,
you
multiple-
came in on,
Us.
including pilot, would take 4.
so 3 of us.
Are
Yep.
one of us a pilot?
You're trying to tell me Chase Oberweiss doesn't know how to fly a helicopter?
I can.
he
try
he hires people for that.
I'm an engineer. I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you know who's getting the boot?
we could just build a helicopter.
It's actually both of them. Both of them are getting the boot.
We will figure out what
really-
happens at the helicopter, I guess, because I'm very interested to see what y'all's loyalties are now.
Yeah.
Okay, so what you are looking at, you have 2 options out. You can travel through the door that is now active, leading from the engineering bay through the medical facility, which is Dr. Davis's space. She knows the place has been ransacked, so it could be dangerous, but you're not sure. None of you have been at the cameras for a second. Or you could try heading back through the vent, which is now quiet, but you're not sure the result of whatever conflict was up there.
Well, we have Liam, right?
We do. We can. Liam can look ahead.
So that's a asset in our favor.
Yeah, Liam can also access some of the systems in place if he can connect to them.
Okay. So, Franny,
I'm
what are
gonna
you doing?
hook you up with our R&D team when we're out of this. We're gonna figure out how to get one of those in every tech.
Oh, well, thank you. That's a very kind offer.
It's definitely altruistic.
He says, is the non-disclosure agreement that you signed makes everything of your invention company property.
Oh yeah, no, I'm aware.
Anyway, Franny, you have the reins then if you're using the drone first. Where are you sending it?
Towards the way up to the main floor, right?
Are you going through the vent or through the medical or the biomed labs?
Well, the vent probably has evil dogs in it, so I wouldn't say lab.
I mean, they're pretty sizable dogs. You don't know what breed they are.
Is it evil to survive? I mean, what's the morality there?
Bruce Campbell's back in Evil Dogs.
Davis, did you experiment on literal wolves?
Chihuahua.
Oh no,
a
wolves are
basset
protected by
hound.
law.
German Shepherds,
And dogs
however.
are not.
Shepherds and mutts, however, are not.
Oh my.
You didn't happen to experiment on Australian shepherds, did you? Just like a little pint-sized guy.
No.
No, I
We want
believe
them
they were
big because they can
Dobermans.
fit then.
Of course they were.
Franny, what are you doing?
I'm gonna send Liam to scout ahead through the labs so we can make our way that way, and up to the first floor.
All right.
If there's any doors, I believe Liam should be able to access the system and open them. Yeah, that might require a hack roll, and I
Oh,
don't know
can
why I
I
said that in
potentially.
Franny's accent.
Can I tape this key card to Liam?
You could do that.
We could also do that.
Oh, if you
Wait.
Put an
If Franny
all-access
used
lapel
Liam to
pin
open
on the drone.
doors,
I am worried that if
This
something
is
happens
bad.
to... This is a
tape
great
something
idea.
to Liam, can I at least engineer it so that Liam can actually like open doors for us?
Do you want to take that much time, Portia?
Maybe not. Maybe not.
Liam is
Depends
like
on how much the team wants it.
Liam is like this big, just to be clear.
It's a little guy.
Oh,
Yeah.
if you're going
Yeah,
to
but
the
we got all the
labs-
engineering stuff right here. So like, if I can find like a rod and like some duct tape, we got duct tape down here. Just make a little arm so we can do. I think all of this is happening in character because I'm zoinked on Valium.
Super valuable.
Valid.
Fair enough. Dr. Davis, what were you going to say about your labs?
Oh, if you're going to the labs, if you make sure that they're clear, we can definitely access the backups from my main terminal. It's right there, that first station by the door. We'll be able to get in and out.
That sounds like a fantastic... What happened to my accent? That sounds like a fantastic idea.
Okay.
So long as it's that simple, yeah, I'll be fine with us grabbing your backup data.
Franny.
Yeah, it's always everything's been so
Fantastic.
cut and dry.
Yeah.
Hi, Franny, what's up?
Give me a tech search roll.
Alright. I will roll my one die. I'm very stressed already. Can I choose to take stress to roll an extra die after I've made the roll, or do I have to do it before?
You haven't told me the number yet. I'll let you do it.
Okay.
I am a kind and benevolent GM.
I rolled an 8, so no need.
I say as you need 2 successes. No, I'm just kidding.
No!
No. So you scout ahead. Things appear to be clear, but it is worth mentioning that you notice Miss Davis mentioned 2 things when she was giving her presentation. She had 2 different specimens in the office.
Excuse you, Dr. Davis.
Dr. Davis, sorry.
You will refer to me as Dr. Davis and nothing else.
I don't even...
She spent good money
I
on that degree.
Straight up, like, my brain blacked out for a second. I don't even know what I called her for a minute. Dr.
I mean,
Davis.
you called her Davies for the first, 20 minutes of the game, so...
Yeah, because it's written in front of me. I wrote it wrong, and then I made my own mistake compound. No, so... there were 2 specimens that Dr. Davis mentioned that they had. And one of them is missing, which you know is the Lost Plagas. The other one, if you are correct in your visuals, is shattered and dripping on the floor. So it is worth moving with caution.
Oh my. Yes, of course.
Because, yeah.
It does look like there may be potentially a small, tiny little biohazard in the lab.
Are we? What are we talking about here? Like a little blood spillage?
Well, probably too. But that other specimen that you had mentioned, it is dripping.
The T virus?
Yeah, that one.
Slaps both of them on the shoulders. Nice.
Yeah, the slow blink is my favorite part of that whole thing.
So, shall we?
Hey, right. This is fine. This is fine. I do not have the equipment to deal with the T-virus.
We
I-
have
I'd rather do that.
emergency equipment, gas masks,
Yeah, of course.
gas masks.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
they're all
we
in the
have
lab.
emergency equipment. Pats your gun.
There's a complete decontamination
gift.
chamber before you enter the lab.
Not from
to
the engineering
mention
side.
That, assuming this is long enough afterwards, I don't believe the T-virus is airborne at this stage anymore.
That's good.
Oh, don't
Dr.
believe.
Davies.
Perfect.
Davies?
Can you, Davis?
Excuse me.
God damn it! I am so sorry. I have destroyed my own perception of this character. Dr. Davis, are you confirming that information, or do you suppose that there would be the risk involved in you're the expert?
What was how concentrated the vial was? If it was airborne, it'd be spread through the whole facility at this point.
Ooh.
It's initially spread through the first room, the first adjacent rooms, depending on what was left open for the first maybe 5, 10, 15 minutes. And then it becomes more concentrated, and then it's only transferred through exposure via bites, blood, contact, things like that.
Ah.
Cool.
Unless it merged with the plagas, which those were also samples within the laboratory. So
I should have stayed on the milk farm.
Why did I leave the French Foreign Legion? Why did Tyrell talk me into leaving the French Foreign Legion?
All right. In you all travel.
Into the lab then?
Into the lab.
Yeah, I guess.
Apparently, unless you're switching course.
Well, the other option is through the van, and I think the dogs are in the van, and I don't want to go there because I am scared of dogs.
Schrodinger's pet dogs.
Yeah, I don't want to have to put down a dog today. Davis.
what are you
Davis,
looking at me for?
Chase.
They're your dogs!
I was given what the company gave me.
Chase, what matters?
Schrodinger's vent dogs is my favorite phrase of the whole day, and I'm so pleased that happened.
We're having a great time.
All right, so
Wish to treat this like the Alien franchise and go through the vents and avoid everything. You know, that's perfectly on you. I'm going to get my research.
Yeah,
sorry.
I also would like to recover as much research as possible if we're going to do a big old veil.
okay.
Following
Onward.
the man with the gun. I say, hefting my pipe wrench.
Yes, that does seem
Yeah,
like a smart
yeah.
idea.
Chase,
Theo.
would you mind just giving me an arbitrary D10 roll? Let me know if it's a success.
Yeah, arbitrary. Oh, 1.
Oof. Okay.
That's
The
the
amount of
worst number.
conversation
Yikes.
and the amount of time it took you all to decide which direction you are traveling and the bickering amongst you has advanced both clocks.
Here we go.
No. So our enemy clock is at 3 or 4?
Yep, that is correct.
Okay.
Got ways to turn that down?
Nope.
Unless
They're
we
just
kill
gonna get
them.
worse. Oh yeah, unless you go on a rampage.
If we're real good, if we're just real nice, it'll go down.
Through
Tried.
Couple good
the
rolls.
bio facility you travel. Dr. Davis, I need you to make me a because I assume you are the one who is leaning into this. I need you to make me a research / tech roll for the recovery of that data.
Would you allow me to utilize my company scholar perk as well as my field research wouldn't apply because I'm not maybe it's not physical samples, I wouldn't count that one, but company scholars add +1 to any roll to learn about a current project.
I will allow the company scholar. That works.
'Kay. There's 2 4s and a 9.
2 4s and a 9. Okay. With that 9, it takes you some time, but you do get into it and manage to, kind of scramble to make sure everything's jotted down.
If I see that it's taking a bit of time, could I attempt to assist?
You may
Just have
attempt
a
to
backup
assist.
drive handy.
Yeah.
A portable drive to backups onto.
For you, it will just be a tech roll for the
Okay.
assist here.
I mean, I have 2 research.
Yeah, but it's Davis's research. You don't necessarily know where it is, but you know how to navigate a computer pretty damn well. So,
Fair enough. 7. That's a failure.
okay. So, 1 stress to you.
Yep.
But it's still an overall success. It does take a couple of minutes, but you manage to back up all of this information. Now, while you were doing this, y'all can hear the elevator, which connects directly to this room, traveling down.
Ah.
Cool.
Okay.
Well, that's
Remind
not
me
very
real
good.
quick. Does Las Plagas let people like use elevators or anything, or should we be worried about that?
Davis, refresh my memory. Weren't those infected with the Las Plagas known to, be adequate tool users? Up to and including driving motor vehicles with relative proficiency?
Yes, they retain a certain level of intelligence. If it's a queen, more so than a drone, obviously. But this might not bear very well for us if we're trying to avoid them entirely.
Miss.
Like the
Fern.
company regulations, if we're out of this, I'm taking those 5 days.
Oh, hell yeah, take him. Miss Fern, when we recycled the power, did the main entrances open?
They should have.
So other people could have gotten out.
Briefly.
For a second or two, so a few. They are locked back down again.
Great.
Why?
Just taking score.
All right.
There's no
Conscience
visual
thing.
way. There's no visual way to confirm whether or not they're infected at this point, considering we were not at the cameras.
Yeah, that's what I
I
think.
am.
Yes.
I hope your team is on standby, Mr. Oberweiss.
Oh, I mean, yeah, the company's got satellite defenses, and we're like in the middle of nowhere.
All that translates
what?
to is like air-to-ground missiles.
Hang on.
Like, yeah, we
the
got
control
defenses.
room.
We'll see what happens.
It's like the zone of no laws, right? Like in like a national park.
Right. Out of the way enough of a city that, if it were to be blown up, it's just the facility that's going.
I mean, every biochemical company learned a lot from Raccoon City. Let's just say that.
Also true.
We have all of our facilities research on this drive, and she has the drive handy and pockets it and says, outside of whatever we happen to observe while leaving, it's time to leave.
The elevator
you-
dings.
Is it like a portable hard drive?
There's the elevator.
Answer that question first, Miss Davis.
What was the question?
Do you have like a hard drive or like a thumb drive?
It's a hard drive, like a
Right,
portable
I'm-
hard drive.
I'm making a very distinct note that you have a hard drive full of data on it.
Can't believe we built this facility in the middle of Rocky Mountain National Park.
The elevator opens. And Agent Baxter stumbles out.
Oh, my man.
Assault rifle.
And
You can see there's no clip in it at this point. He had ejected it, and it is empty. One of his arms is just torn to hell and
Man?
laying lifeless to his side. He's bloody all over the side of him, and in his left hand he's got his assault rifle kind of slinging along. And he walks into the room and sees the 5 of you, and he's like, we need to get the fuck out of here now.
My man.
yeah, but first let me take care of that arm.
Yeah, good
You
luck
take care of.
with what we have here. No offense, but then he kind of gestures to the arm, and it's like beyond dislocated. Like there is some muscle holding it together, but there are pieces missing from his arm that would be necessary.
Yeah, like I'm not trying to get it functional. I'm just trying to get the bleeding to stop.
Okay, all right. Well,
This is obviously injuries that he sustained from the dogs, right?
oh yeah, definitely maiming from large canines.
Oh dear.
And how does the Las Plagas transmit from one host to another?
Well, both T and Plagas transfer from bodily fluid contact, so bites to blood
Right.
is very viable. However, you are in luck, good sir. I do have something functioning. Well, I haven't gotten a chance to really test it on humans yet. It should at least slow the process. goes to one of the cabinets and retrieves a vial and a syringe of something that could at least deals with the T virus.
Okay.
Plagas is a different animal. It requires complete surgery in order to remove once it's not an egg.
Yeah.
So
Dr. Davis.
yes.
This is based entirely on your research, so there is no assist available here. You're just using a syringe.
Yes.
But I would like you to roll science and medicine. If you have either of those.
If you plan on keeping him with us, please take stress.
I am planning on taking the stress.
Wonderful.
Would you allow Scholar to go through for here? Or field research, maybe, if I'm happening to, take a blood sample along with applying that syringe?
Where is field research?
Are you talking about the kit?
The field
Field
research
research,
kit is a kit assigned for the collection of physical samples and specimens. It allows a +1 to research. So maybe not, but...
Yeah, it wouldn't benefit here because you're not researching. This would have been old research that you'd already done.
So then would Company Scholar apply since it's research that I've done on a current project?
No, because this isn't new information.
You know what?
Because literally, you're pulling you're pulling a vial out of a fridge. Anything that you had already done on it, you can't alter at this point. You just have to hope that it works.
You know what? I'll do it. I'll take 2 stress and pull that dice pull up.
Okay.
Are there more of those vials?
I'm getting a couple of different vials, actually.
Are you making a cocktail?
She's only using one of them. She's pocketing a couple of different ones.
Got it.
There are, based on the roll that I just did, there are 3 vials currently in full in that fridge. So you would be taking 2 of them, Dr. Davis.
Okay. So I've got a 1, a 3, and a 6.
Okay.
So those are all technically failures.
Real bad.
Yeah. Mega unfortunate.
Yep. So go ahead and take 2 stress. Roll
Okay.
against burnout for me.
Don't we? That's a team stress.
That would also
Right?
be team stress. Yep. Because that is
That's-
part of her career.
Oh, yeah,
Can
'cause
I
I
throw
did
it
roll
out
a
here that
science.
we don't know that this is a failure yet? Because that's
I will explain
in
that
the genre.
narratively. Still mark it down on your
Lovely.
sheets, but we'll get there.
That's a
Love it.
failure. I rolled a 3.
Okay, now roll a d20 for your burnout effect.
Ah.
Or, sorry, a d20.
I
Roll a
say.
d10 plus your stress. My apologies. I read the table and I'm like, yeah, it's a 3 through 20. I guess we're...
Actually, she just adds her current stress with what she rolled with that 3 to get what her result is. If I'm reading this right.
Add
With
roll
the 3 plus a
stress.
4, it would be a 7.
7. Okay.
Okay.
-1 to all rolls for the next 1d10 minutes, which is probably not going to be great because the next 1d10 minutes, regardless of how long that is not going to be fun for y'all as you stick them with this suppressant, you suppose, to slow down this virus. But what this fella is infected with is the cross-strain. And
Especially considering I rolled a 10. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, so you stick him with this and you kind of reassure him that he's going to be fine. And there is a moment where he kind of stands up and rights himself and he looks a little bit better. And then you can hear along his spinal column just a good number of his vertebrae just crackle like somebody stepped on a sleeve of saltines as he just slumps over and starts seizing.
Hey, man.
Hey, the elevator's down here right now.
Oh.
We should just...
Yeah, I'm already
Yeah.
like halfway there.
Well, this is certainly interesting.
Okay, give me a dodge roll, everybody, as you just peel out of this facility or this
Oh.
downstairs.
I'm gonna take a health
Okay.
to
Yeah,
add a die for this,
I think I will too.
and I'm gonna fail. I got a 3.
I have the health to spare. Technically.
10! Yeah, remove a stress.
Well, I'll do it.
Oh goody, I'm
I
down
I
to
took the
6
health
stress.
and I took. Whoa,
I got a
don't you
10
have
and
to
a
take health in this situation since it's physical?
Yes,
Yeah,
if you
it's a-
choose to push it, you'll take health damage.
A failure over here.
Okay. So
I
Franny
roll-
succeeded. Theodore?
10 and a 6.
Okay, so you succeeded. Dr. Davis?
Double 5s. 7.
Okay. So,
Plus 8 stress.
3 of you failed. 2 of you succeeded. My question is, as the brief moments as you watch Agent Baxter begin to mutate and change, those who succeeded, are you going to keep moving? Franny, you know specifically with a critical success that if you left people behind, the all-access keycard is on your drone. You can stay and help if you want to be altruistic, but you technically do not have to right now.
Nah, Franny's gonna stay and help.
Okay.
Bless Franny.
That's just who she is. Franny will pull the screwdriver out of her pocket. Well, it's like running to the elevator, looks back, sees what's happening, looks down for a second, grabs the screwdriver out of her pocket, and just runs forward and like jabs it into the zombie's back.
Okay. So you just stick it while it is changing, trying to do something to it. Give me a combat roll.
Goody.
Tell me the success. I'm not going to make it roll against this right now because you're trying to slam it while it's changing. But I'll give you some initial damage since you decided to be the altruist and stick around on a critical success when you could have just dipped on a bunch of douches.
I'm going to go ahead and spend a stress so that I
Well,
have
okay,
a
sorry,
die
not
for
you,
this.
Portia.
I'm gonna spend a point of stress so that I have a die for this.
So this would be physical. If you spend a point on this to stretch it, it would be health.
Sure. I already said I was gonna do it, so.
Me as a player appreciates you.
Yeah.
Davis, however.
So I rolled a 3.
Okay. You rolled a 3 total. That was your highest?
Yes, I only had the 1 die because I spent health. Normally it would have been no dice.
Okay, so you take a swing and you stick it square on. I need you to make a body check for me.
Alright. I rolled a 4, but since I have no dice in that, I believe that counts as a 1.
Okay. So, you stick it square on, and not only are you convinced that you didn't do it any damage, but in the expanding masses of tissue that this thing is evolving into, as you puncture and rupture the skin, whatever fluid leaves it, is not going to do you any good. Mechanically, you can consider yourself infected.
Good.
No damage taken from that, but we will take care of that as we do. Everybody else, I would like y'all... Well, everybody, really. I would like y'all to roll an aware roll for combat for me.
Oh, no.
That's 5.
Okay.
That's a 7.
That's a 1.
That's a 6.
Portia
We
was
just
a
rolled-
7, Medic was a 6, Franny was a what? Yeah, narratively that makes sense. Dr. Davis?
Yeah.
You just roll the 1 die if it's nothing, right? At a disadvantage, or is that? Am I remembering that wrong?
Aware?
If you don't.
For aware? I mean,
Oh, for aware.
yeah.
Everyone should have at least 1 aware.
I thought I
Because
heard
that's your
combat,
initiative.
but
No,
that's
it's for aware.
It's a 3.
Okay.
The combat was we're gonna start some combat.
Yep.
Fair enough.
Okay, so that would put Portia up next. This thing is still clambering to its feet and evolving as we are looking. It is big. Whatever she just dosed it with was most likely the opposite of a suppressant. This is very much functioning like an accelerant. What you doing, Portia?
Oh, it's me.
Yes.
Great. If it were anyone but Franny and Theo, I would probably just leg it. But it's Franny. So I have a quick question. Can I spend drive in the middle of the game to tick up my stats?
No.
That looks like a no.
I'd say.
Okay, I have a pipe wrench that gives me +1 to fights. I'm gonna burn 1 drive to give me another die in this situation.
Okay.
And oh, good lord, I'm gonna sacrifice health, right? To get another one.
If you're getting another one, you'd be sacrificing health.
Okay, here we go. That's a 10. As
you
my
actually
highest.
can't sacrifice health for combat rolls.
Oh, you're right. Apologies. Portia.
Sorry.
Take that second die away.
Okay.
No, you're good.
Well, I already rolled.
I'll give you the 10.
You'll give me the 10?
I'll give
I was
you the
gonna tell
10.
you 3 colors and have you pick one.
Oh. I'll play that
You
game.
know what? That's
colors
more
am I
fun.
looking at? Yeah, I like games.
Blue, pink, green. Which one goes?
Green.
Okay. Then it's a 10.
Nice. All right. So, with a 10, take down a stress, and in defense of your friend Franny, you swing down that wrench as a fleshy, pale tentacle, like, just juts out from the skin of this hulking figure as it begins to climb up, and you hit it in such opposition to the direction that it is moving that you end up severing it just on blunt impact as this thing is still kind of forming, and send that piece of it kind of skittering to the ground in the process of mutation, so it kind of just burns out and jellifies on the floor. How much damage?
Just for
That was just
texture,
the one,
I kind of
right?
want to... say again?
That was just one success, right?
It's 2 because it was a 10.
Right.
Just for flavor, I think the thing that I'm going to do right after is not even caring about the bodily fluids that sprayed, is try to help Franny away.
Okay. You probably honestly didn't... Franny would probably be the only one conscious of the fact that there is anything that might have contaminated them, whether that be hit him in the eye or an open wound or something. Like,
Cool.
you don't necessarily know that anything's wrong. Up next, then, would be Theodore. At this point, the being is on its feet. You're looking at, like, basically skinless at this point because of the way that it had kind of burst from itself, pieces of it kind of tattering off. Like, large cable worth, or, like, bands of cables of fleshy muscle and tentacle kind of binding it together and lashing out in spots. It's not all necessarily connected to the central being like it has to be, but it is holding it up in both strength and extraneous tentacles to kind of reach. But it still has the figure of a person, but very little semblance left therein. The face is kind of inverted and shattered in the same way that the skin did, so there's almost nothing left of the skull, just having been totally fragmented to bits. Pieces of teeth and things sticking out of where the central head is, and just a central eye in the middle of that. Theodore, what would you like to do with that information?
Okay, first I should have asked this earlier, but that fire axe that I've been lugging around, should I be treating that like a knife or something else?
We're gonna treat that like a knife. Yeah.
Okay.
Can be thrown, but it's basically a knife.
All right. Let's see. And currently, everybody is in melee range with this thing at this point. Is what I'm hearing.
Yes. At this point, everybody would be within melee range of this. Mostly just because the thing's big, so any little amount of distance you'd add is not really helping you.
Great. I am in no condition to fight this thing. I don't want to fight this thing. Everybody else is trying to fight this thing. Or is Davis?
Hello?
That tracks.
I'm here to cause problems.
Theodore, what are we doing?
Okay, everybody, though, is still on their feet, right?
Mm-hmm. Everybody's on their feet. The two at the most distance to this creature right now would be Portia and Franny.
I am going to regret this, but
Probably.
Theo's gonna run, grab Davis by the back of her shirt, and just start dragging her towards the elevator.
Oh, shit.
Can you stop trying to solve a question nobody asked for 5 minutes?
Okay. So, if you are not stopping him, Dr. Davis, that movement, if that's all you're doing on the turn, will take you both to the elevator.
She's not really stopping him. She's observing.
Okay. Just kind of watching.
So I want to see what happens.
That's
How
good.
this transformation goes out.
Well, we'll see.
We'll see. Chase is still technically in melee range.
Yeah. To catch you up,
It
Chase,
also has a gun.
Theodore has just dragged Dr. Davis back to the elevator with his turn, so they are both in the elevator.
Good for them.
You are up in initiative now, actually, Chase.
Wonderful. Great timing on my part.
Yeah.
I will, I'll start shooting at this thing. I'm right up on it.
I mean, you're not right up on it. You're probably still about 10 feet away, but the thing is close enough that it's functionally within range of you.
Of course it is. Yeah, I mean, I'll see that they were getting out, and I'll start plugging it.
Okay.
The highest I rolled was a 6.
Yeah. You take shots off of it, but you're smack it against a harder carapace than you were anticipating, or at least a denser muscle mass than you were anticipating.
And I'll just start yelling, "Go to the elevator."
Fair enough. Are you holding your
Closing
ground
this
then, or are you
gap.
moving?
I'll start closing this gap between me and Agent Baxter.
Okay, so you're walking up on it. Doctor...
My man.
Buddy. If you're walking up on it, I'll give you this too. You're getting closer to it. The remnants of Agent Baxter's uniform, including 2 magazines worth of assault rifle ammunition, and the assault rifle is somewhere at its feet, is an option.
Cool.
Dr. Davis, you are up next. Are you doing anything with your turn? You gonna wait for others? You want to close that door? What you up to?
I'm gonna wait as long as possible to continue taking notes.
Fair enough.
I'm gonna be that asshole and just
No, hold the door.
Just
I need to watch.
Hold the door. Don't close until the last possible second. I want to see what happens.
Good lord. All right.
We're so close.
Okay.
Can you just stop speaking at last sentence?
This is valuable combat data.
Theo's having a day.
Yeah, poor guy. He was not anticipating coming to work to all this. All right.
The thing we can do.
Aren't
right
you
here
supposed
is
to be
get Theo
prepared
out
for the worst
alive.
case scenario?
Next up is the
Damn,
Baxter
you're
monstrosity.
actively making it worse.
Now the Baxter monstrosity is going to take. He gets to attack twice. This is a variant on something else you've already written, Logan. So we're playing with your own numbers here. But he's gonna take some swings at you.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Aha!
So the first attack, only one of those is a success, but it is a critical success. I don't know if you defended against it successfully.
I mean, I don't have anything in dodge body, so I do not.
Okay. So with a critical success, he's gonna hit you and just send you sailing. Normal damage on that's 2, but that's 4 damage to you.
I'm dead.
Nice. So full swing, just bats you across the ground like somebody taking a golf ball out of a sand trap.
Yeah, I feel like he just bats me in half. This is,
Honestly, love that for you.
it's the way it was
Jesus.
supposed to be.
It's a
Yeah.
hell of a way to go.
I'm just laying into it, plugging, and I'm blasting, and then just while the rest of you hopefully escape, for the love of God, just go. I've been.
Yeah, well, you're not dead yet. You're just unconscious, and you need to be stabilized.
Oh, okay.
My
I'm
job.
at negative
no.
2 then.
Not worth it.
It's not worth it, Theodore, because it still has a second attack, and that's the only
No.
thing. Chase is the only thing that's done it any damage. So
I stabbed it.
I had
No, I
a
didn't hurt it,
wrench.
but I tried to stab
Wow.
it.
oh
way
yeah,
to-
you did do it some damage.
So much
Okay.
damage erasure going on.
I apologize. Well, Franny didn't do it any damage. Portia, you did do it some damage, but
Whew.
it was also not fully conscious at that point in time. It was still like fucking standing up.
I just want to know where Liam is in all this. Where's Liam?
How's Liam doing?
As long as Liam makes it out.
Liam's
Liam's-
just hanging out.
He's just
Just
buzzing by the
hovering.
elevator.
Yeah,
He still has the card from
Liam's just over by Franny. Just
Theodore, I'll
hovering,
throw you a
hanging out.
bone though. Not intentionally, but I did try to kill Mr. Oberweiss. He rolled a
My,
lot of really bad rolls.
Yeah. My team stress is when I with combat though, I'll take stress. So
Ooh.
Oof.
Okay. Twist the knife as you die. Lovely.
Wait, so how
You
much
know
stress do
what?
we take?
just
One,
the
I
one.
think.
Just
Yeah.
the one.
Just the one.
Theodore, I would like you to roll for burnout, since you are most concerned with keeping people alive.
Oh, sweet heaven, thank you. That was a 6. I'm still fine.
Okay.
How is your stress still that low?
Did he roll like 2 crits?
Yeah.
Like,
Can I
Yeah,
have your
yeah.
luck, please? Can you just send it over? Because I'm rolling against a 9 at this point.
You made this happen.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, and?
Look. I still have painkillers. I'll give you some in a second.
Sweet.
the Sacklers over here.
So technically, Theodore, you could keep Chase alive. Based on the rules, you are only alive. They are only alive if they survive the round. If somebody can get to them by the end of the round, and your initiative has already passed. So the only person who can actually help is Franny, if they choose to.
Okay.
Oh no, Franny.
Don't do it.
If they choose to. But opinions there, so we'll see.
Oh,
We're
He's not. There's a look from Portia that's just like, he ain't worth it.
Is Portia before the monster in combat?
Portia is before the monster in combat. Portia would be next, actually, because she's top of the round.
Sorry, my Zoom froze. I did not hear your answer.
Oh, yeah, so Portia is next. She's top of initiative.
Okay, cool.
Number one.
Yeah, you are. So Franny, fully understanding the situation and what's going on, will grab Liam and the thing she uses to control him and just chuck it into the elevator, and turn to Portia and say, "It's too late for me, but you can go save yourself." I'll just try to grapple this thing.
Okay.
Oh, no.
So you're gonna go run at the
Which I
thing.
know is a terrible plan. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Give
I know
me...
this is a terrible plan, but I don't have a better one.
Yeah, I'm gonna count it as a distraction more than anything. But go ahead and give me. This one's a weird one. I'm gonna, for the sake of trying to be a hero, I'm gonna let you roll body and fight against this one if you would like to.
Cool. So that's a total of 0 dice.
There's like a rule if somebody's sacrificing themselves, right?
Oh no.
There should be.
I believe so. Yeah.
The author's saying there should be.
Now
It's
that I think
not.
about it.
Okay. I misunderstood the spending against yourself because it says employees can add dice through voluntary sacrifice.
yeah,
and I was
actually,
like,
I think
oh, if you're sacrificing
You could
yourself.
sacrifice, but it's a.
that's it. Can I do that in combat?
It would be a non-combat roll because you're not trying to attack; you're trying to grapple it.
That's true. It is
Yeah,
also
sure.
a physical
I'll
maneuver,
minus-
so if you want to
I'll
add
minus-
dice to that, it's health.
I'll -1 health to be able to roll 1 die.
Okay.
That's a 3. Go ahead and mark my stress up.
Oh, we
to
tried.
8.
Wait,
Bump
wait,
that
wait.
stress up and then give me a
I'm
burnout
just
roll.
taking notes.
Look.
What was
All
that?
I'm saying
Give
is,
me one
I'm
stress
trying to
and give me a
survive,
burnout
and
roll.
how much more health do you have, right?
That is a 10 on my burnout roll.
There you go. You're not burned out yet. You might be dead in a minute, but you're not burned out.
Hey, I am at 1 health.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Portia.
I die. That's when I die.
Oh yeah, sorry. Chase is now
Chase is
definitely
dead.
The shrug from Portia was brutal. Good God.
Brutal.
Okay,
Look.
But deserved.
yeah, but deserved. Yeah. Franny has just run off to go give this big bitch a hug. Told you to go save yourself. Portia, are you listening? It is your turn.
Portia cares a lot about Franny. The drone is already in the elevator.
Liam moves on.
I get out of here, and hopefully Liam and I can become friends.
Okay.
Is there a multi-class option in the system? Because if there's ever a reason for it, it's right here.
If
gotta
I end
learn
up
to
with
hack
extra
so I can use
drive,
the
I'll
drone.
just dip.
Yeah. Okay.
Is that gonna take a roll from me to leg it?
No, because Franny is up on the beast. If it didn't have a direct target right now, yes, but Franny is up against it. I will say, based on that failure and the fact that you have 1 health left, you probably not surviving that.
No.
If you want to try to play that out, we can, but I'm not hopeful. But you run into the elevator, Portia, and you slam the button on it, hoping.
Tears, snot,
Oh, 100%.
hair gel, like everything.
A little bit of grease.
I'm a mess.
Wow.
Yep.
Never
The grace
expected
you
this
show
for
was on
Chase.
your face.
So Theo just offers you a hug for all of that, ignoring Davis's bullshit entirely at this point.
Hugs are
Valid.
nice. Reduce one stress, Portia.
Reduce my stress?
Reduce one stress. That's all.
Whoa!
But I'll give you a reduced stress for an emotional hug and the death of a friend.
Yeah.
You also know, because you are the engineer of this building, that this singular elevator, it's the only one in the building that does it. It runs. So this is the one that would connect you to the security entrance, or the security room that you were in. Everything's pretty localized that needs to be connected. The other thing about this elevator, though, is it will take you straight to the roof. Because if people need to leave, there is one line that will get you through all the major portions of this building. So you hit that button, power on, 2 people gone, you can hear the slamming and just hulking masses of movement in the base of this facility as you guys reach the upper floor with Liam's drone with the key card.
Can we get the door on our side just bent in from a punch as we
Oh,
get out of
100%.
there?
It's gotta be. Yeah, you have to do a little bit of prying with the fire axe that Theodore is carrying to get the door back open once you get to the roof. But this door opens, and there is a helicopter on the top of this building waiting for you. Well, not for you, but for Mr. Oberweiss. However, Oberweiss is not with you. But his key card is. And as you all panic and get to this helicopter, and the key card is presented and the situation is explained, the 3 of you make it out, or make it off of the ceiling, or the roof. Good lord. Not the ceiling, the roof. The rooftop of this building. My brain just fell apart. The rooftop of this building, and managed to get high enough into the air to watch the central spire of where that elevator was collapse in on itself, because it is just all the supports are being knocked out of the base of it from this beast in the basement. And the whole building kind of starts to go, and you could see damage on other portions of it from the sky, before at enough of a distance you watch 2 air-to-ground ballistic missiles hit dead center the middle of that facility and just take it up in smoke.
So I've never played a Resident Evil game all the way through.
Okay.
But as I understand it, this is where we all swear revenge on whatever corporation we were working for.
Normally, it would be.
Normally.
However, we're just glaring daggers at Davis the entire time.
And there will have to be some decisions to be made about what you 3 end up doing, which we will talk about later, because that is where we're going to wrap tonight's episode. Leaving the destruction of the facility that y'all had known for a good while down in smoke, up in flames, whatever you want to say. 2 folks dead. 3 of you made it out. Davis made it out with her research. Portia made it out with a little drone buddy. Theodore barely made it out with his sanity. And you all are doing the best you can, but you survived. And I'll discuss what that means for you all next time, because this is a larger series, so we will be seeing a part 2 to this at least, if not a part 3, for sure. Thank you so much, Logan, for being a part of all of this.
This is amazing. So much fun.
I'm glad.
Oh, yeah.
You are all so incredibly talented.
Well,
Thank
thank
you, thank
you.
you.
I'm super happy to hear that. No, it's a blast to play. I'm glad you had a good time. I did not realize how simple this system was to play, and I love it. Such is the nature of any of these games. I never realize how a system works until I play it the first time, and that's what this series is for. But I had a great time. It's super simple to run. It's really easy to manage. Portia, you were doing a squint face. Did you have something to say?
I was just pointing at myself and saying, me too.
Okay, got it.
This is great.
Hell yeah. No, but I'm not going to have a full conversation about the system just yet, because this is a multi-part. I want us to get through the limited series before we get to that place. But do you have any direct questions or anything you would like to ask, and I'm going to put you on the spot for a second, but ask Logan about the system or anything you would like to say about it before we go, or start wrapping outros for this, because I do want, if there is anything to bring up. Burning questions.
I loved this. This was a lot. I don't know if I have any questions, but I just want to say that this is a lot of fun. I love this game. Yeah, I can't wait to come back for part 2, where I play a character who's good at combat.
Now we need a soldier, damn it.
Yeah.
It is worth noting that there is one class that was not represented at all in this entire thing.
Yeah.
And that is the soldier class.
Yeah.
Their
is a
entire
combat focused class.
Yeah. Join us. Hey, TPK Roleplay. Join us for part 2, where I'll play a soldier.
Confirmed.
Yeah.
You've locked it in. There you go. That's yours.
Oh yeah.
Is this what you had hoped for and expected for a run through as a player, Logan?
As a player, I try not to expect anything, because I never want to be disappointed. But no, this is amazing. I've never played anything but an executive, because I'm play testing the class currently for an expansion. But I've run this game so many times, and I've watched so many people play it, and y'all did so great. And it's just always nice to the conflicts that arise between the jobs and like everybody having different goals, but usually the same end goal, which is not die. Tends to like lead to its own storytelling, which arises naturally, and like I hope you all found that came pretty easy. Like the roles, the careers, the jobs, they all kind of define themselves, and like it makes it. My hope is that it makes it easier for the player to RP, which is something that I found is hard to do in a lot of mainstream systems. Is like, yes, the rules are there, but the RP isn't there. Like, how am I supposed to play this character? And like, a lot of people can do that, but not everybody can. So I hope like the tools were there, and you all played each character so well. I like each career so well. It's exciting for me to watch that happen. So thank you for giving that to me. I appreciate it.
I love that. No, I really loved the jobs when I read through the system, which I fibbed a little bit before we got on stream. I read through the system 4 hours before we started this. It's good. I'm really nailing it. But we the jobs were very, very nice. I liked because they don't hold you back from anything, but they encourage you to move in a particular direction. It's like, why would I pick that if I didn't want to do those things? So it lets you lean into that role both in RP and mechanical functions, which is really, really cool as far as character creation from just seeing how they work, because it helps the GM, I think, personally, from having run it. It makes me know what everybody is good at and try to fit a little bit of everything into the system so that you all have that chance to benefit.
It gives everybody a chance to have agency in the storytelling process. I find, which helps collaborative storytelling in a way that I think mainstream, when I say mainstream games, I'm talking about Dungeons and Dragons, and like in the way
call
that,
it out. Damn,
we
bigger
know.
games like don't like you don't get to have huge big punches into the narrative. in the same
Yeah.
way that you do. I like seeing that. I like seeing interpersonal conflict more than PvE like type
Yeah.
conflict that like a lot of games facilitate. And you know, because that's how we work together as people. We have conflicts. We don't always see eye to eye. We're not always on the same page. And so, you know, watching y'all play that out and having me as an antagonistic character, and also scientists tend to be inadvertent antagonists in this game, which rules. It's why it's my favorite class. Like, you let the players find the threads. You don't have to spoon feed them. They make their own way.
Yeah.
And it's so fun to watch people play in those different arenas and take those tools and make them into, you know, whatever they conceptualize them as. Like, the book is very light in rules, but it's very heavy in possibilities.
Yes. Yeah, there's a lot of place to play in the system itself, which I'm very pleased. I mean, because the system is not designed for Resident Evil, but
No,
it's...
but it's Resident Evil with the serial numbers.
Well,
filed
I
off,
mean,
for sure.
I've played a lot of those weirdly. And just like, it's this game with the serial numbers filed off because we love it. And like, you play to your passions, and you can feel that in the system. It's like, it's very easy to convert into that kind of horror. I was just going to say... Oh, go ahead.
So, for anybody keeping track at home, the dice math in this game says on an 8 to 9 you get 1 success, on a 10 you get 2 successes, and everything else is a failure or a critical failure. I find it so interesting how people arrive at the math for that, or like, where did you ever have any like debate over how the resolution system would play out, in terms of its like, compared to something like Blades in the Dark, it's a lot more punitive in terms of like the statistic game we're playing. So like, how did you settle on that? How did you figure out what felt good?
First off, 2 successes on a 10, it should just be 1 and minus stress. That if it's in a PDF, I need to fix that.
Yeah, the book that we downloaded is 2 successes minus 1 stress.
All right, thank you. I gotta fix that. Okay, so yes, Blades in the Dark, Powered by the Apocalypse games tend to have like a fail forward type of mechanic that I really admire. And for this, the main goal is to be evocative of no hope type situations. So like an Alien type of situation. My big touchstones are Michael Crichton books.
Ooh, hell yeah!
Like Jurassic Park, Prey, Andromeda Strain, Westworld. These types of situations where you're way in over your head and you don't have the wherewithal, like you don't know the situation enough to get out. Those are like my big touchstones. So like with the way that the dice outcomes are structured, you're lucky to succeed. So there are it's a high, I think it's very low. But yeah, it's an 8, 9, 10 on a success. So it's like a 30% success chance. And that's where the pooling comes in. You start to add dice the better you are at stuff, which raises your percentage. A lot of that was mostly just out of the idea of tension. The worse off you are, the higher the tension gets. And I really want the system to be creating tension, not the GM.
Yeah,
go
no,
ahead.
I just specifically, I thought about that, and I was going to say, I really appreciate dice pool systems for games with more risk, I think, because there is always the potential in a game without modifiers to just royally bungle a roll, doesn't matter how good you are at it.
Right.
And in a system without hope, that is very appropriate. Which I was thinking about that because tomorrow I play D&D with a bunch of friends IRL, and we've reached a level where if you roll a D20, you're probably succeeding against pretty much anything except for the stupid hard stuff, and it's like there's no risk involved at that point. But games like this, it doesn't matter how good you get, you can still fail real bad.
Right. And I feel like when you're in these types of situations, these otherworldly type situations, these over your head situations, I wrote this game after I watched Chernobyl, the HBO miniseries Chernobyl with Jared Harris. The biggest impetus for this being made was Chernobyl. And so like those types of situations where you're in this incredibly industrial environment where everything is going terribly wrong, and the only thing you can do is rely on what you know, is the biggest like through line. So like Chernobyl, Michael Crichton, Alien, like those types of situations where you're talking about being way in over your head, and your knowledge in what you are good at is what is going to save you. And sometimes you're not good at this stuff, and that's why there are like defined negatives to doing things that you're not good at. Like you take a lesser tier of success if you don't have a die in something, which is where spending against yourself comes in. Like every time I tried to design something for this, I tried to put myself into that situation and be like, what would I do if I had to push a door open? I would hurt myself. If I had to figure out a weird calculation, I would stress myself out. So like how does it feel in the real life? How does it feel in the game? Is a big thing there. And again, like making the tension part of the machine, not based on the person running it. Like the GM shouldn't have that on them. I wanted to make this as much fun for someone to run as it is to play, because I run games most of the time, and they're not fun to run. Games are not fun to run. You have to read like 400 pages of a damn book and then like barely use any of it. Like I have thousands of dollars worth of books. Why? Like what's the point? Right?
Yeah.
Like why not have a game where you can have as much fun running it as the people playing it?
100%.
Without the amount of prep that like a D&D or a Call of Duty, full disclosure, like I worked for KSM for a little while. Like like running those games it's rough. Like there's so much planning involved. There's so much like, hours. Like it's a job. Yeah. And for what? So you use like 20% of the stuff you wrote? No, man. Like just let it ride. Play hard. Play fast.
Yeah, and I'm more and more I'm loving systems like this because it's just as intense, it's just as exciting, and the less rules you have, the less it gets in the way of players. You still find very creative or interesting things to do, but you don't have to pay as much attention to what is on the paper in front of you. You can just interact with people. So thank you again for being on. I'm really happy that you enjoyed it, and we will be running again I'm presuming at least 2 more of these. But
honestly, this was so much fun. You all are incredible role players, and you were so much fun to play with. Please, I would love to come back and play somebody else's game if you have space. That would be so much fun.
I mean, if you want to play not a slimy executive.
No, I'm still gonna be a slime bag, but like.
Oh, okay, all right, fair enough. We'll bring on a different board member.
You know what? Corp, totally valid.
Just so we set our expectations.
I'm gonna put out there, I'm starting another Alien game in the fall, most likely. You're welcome to join that. As a side note, I'm gonna tangent for a little bit because I absolutely love that you kept making the comparisons between this being a high tension thing and Alien being a high tension thing, because I personally run the Destroyer of Worlds Alien RPG cinematic.
So
that's currently what I'm doing right now, and we have our next part on Monday, which I'll go more into detail when we do our outros. But the difference between this and that, and achieving the same, if not more, of a result just based on the 2 different systems is astounding. like for the Alien RPG, when it comes to that, you are rolling. One, you've got the dice pool, but then you're also rolling on tables, depending on how you roll on the first 2 tables.
Yeah, exactly.
Which gets to be a little bit much, especially when you are the GM and trying to flavor text it to the point I don't roll for NPCs damage. And that's kind of the advice that I hand off to other GMs trying to run the system, is not to roll the damage. But
I love that system. It's so good. And I would have I wish I had the wherewithal to steal stress dice 2 years ago. Just rip that off wholesale. But
Jaska did a fantastic job with his writing and his lore and the mechanics, but it does get to be a lot.
I mean, you're talking about a big hardcover book, right? Like,
yeah, literally, I have the book.
Oh yeah, I got it.
Right here.
Compared to
That's
this
my dice
guy.
falling to the floor.
I got the whole. I think I did the pre-order with all the dice and everything. Like I got the whole thing. Like it's such great. But like at the end of the day, like what I tried to do with what Sean McCoy and all the Mothership team tried to do is like take that same experience and like distill it down to like, how do we get this into 20 pages? How do we get this into 40 pages? How do we get this into 50 pages?
Yeah, Alien is cold brew. You made like pure espresso on a little cup. Same amount of caffeine. Still a good time. I enjoy both. But
and you're talking about a huge IP, like
right?
Exactly.
What Aliens Universal, right? Like you're talking about.
It's technically Disney right now.
Of course.
It got
What
bought
the
out by
hell?
Disney. Marvel
At some
is doing
point, the
it.
company is gonna.
Mickey Mouse, go do something else. Like, fuck off.
Yeah, Marvel's doing a comic line right now. They released their first series.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
If we can get an Alien Encounter ride at Disneyland again, based off of actual Alien, I'd be for it.
I
but-
might rescind my statement at that point. Yeah.
Yeah.
For now, Mickey Mouse, fuck off. But like leave other stuff, people's
company.
stuff alone.
The company, but we're playing as Disney.
Ooh, wouldn't that be good? A whole mini series of just like take a place in Disneyland.
Well, we have some stuff very soon coming
You
out
know
that
what?
might pique your interest
I'm
there.
excited. Yeah. Well, speaking of, because we do need to wrap a little bit tonight. But
But you
if
can't talk all night.
right.
I
No,
would talk
I-
all night. I'll do it. Let's go.
You guys are welcome
hang
too.
on.
Uh,
Some of us
Theodore.
are pushing 20 hours of work at this point.
I think.
Yeah,
Shot's
this is my
that's
second live stream today. My first one was at 6 a.m. I need sleep at some point.
Okay, but Dr. Davis and Theodore, y'all both were streaming earlier today too, so like
Yes, we were.
Mm-hmm.
y'all are burning the midnight oil.
Good for you.
But again, I'm real happy you enjoyed it because I love the system and I love that you came and played and had a good time. So yeah, I will keep you in mind when I run other systems and things because I
Please
rotate
do,
them
yeah.
regularly.
This is fun.
Good. That always makes me happy to hear. I very much love all of the players here. The great team, super good stuff. And for those for which of you who won the physical copy, which I believe was Purple Phil, if I was
Purple
reading the chat.
Phil!
Purple Phil, congratulations on the physical copy. I will reach out to you
Congratulations.
via the Discord to get your address and things, get that sent off to you. And we'll go ahead and do some outros. We'll keep things short and sweet. Where can we find you? Whatever we can plug. I'm going to plug for you, Logan, just because I'm very excited for it because I've got it backed. But the new Kickstarter for the supplement material for the company RPG is going to be rad. I'm very excited for all the new stuff. So if you haven't seen it, go look it up. Go get all of his things. It's a good time. But we'll start in the same corner that we did with Meg. We'll move around the side and we'll finish up with Logan and then we'll go from there.
Oh shit, that's me.
That is you. Yes.
That is me. Like I said a little bit earlier today, you guys can catch me at Meg Mysteria either here on Twitch or on Twitter. I'm also running Rampant on TBK's Discord, as well as
Usually.
Neon Light's Discord now. But you can catch me on there, like I said earlier a little bit ago. You can catch me on Monday, May 3rd, for the next installment of our Destroyer of Worlds I say one shot, but it's a multi-shot at this point. We're running on part 6 now, where we're gonna find out what's going on in the reactor. We're starting with combat. That's always a great sign.
Ooh.
And I will go ahead and let Shock plug everything else that we are doing. So that puts it over to Legendary Vermin over here.
6
Yeah.
episodes is just a
That
full-on
way.
series at this point.
It is like
Mini-series, really.
Yeah,
I
2
don't
years
know what
later, it's a
happens.
mini-series. We're getting there. We'll finish it.
The
it was
Falcon
supposed
and
to be
Winter
2
Soldier.
parts.
Wonderful. Hey, I'm Legendary Vermin. You can find me on Twitter at Legendary Vermin, where I've got spicy takes and notes about my new cat. You can find me on itch.io, legendary-vermin.itch.io, where I make a bunch of games. Big plugs. I'm going to be back here next week at 5 o'clock to do something totally, completely different, where I wander off into the woods as a camper at a summer camp. It's not even scary. Wonderful. If you look at my games and you like them, I'm running playtests for a game called No Amount of Armor, which is based on the last TPK, or specifically top shelf game that I played in, called 17th Century Minimalist, and it's going to be Mecha 17th Century Minimalist.
Yes!
Great.
A
Is that
hack of
summer
a hack
camp?
of a hack. Oh, it's fantastic. It's its own thing at that point. That's great.
It's hacks all the way down, baby!
Is the summer camp one going to be the TPK Coven special that we're doing?
It is going to be TPK Coven special.
Hey!
Hell yeah.
If you
Such
want to
a
shout that
good-
out, go for
Ah,
it.
they're so good. I'm always a good series.
As a side note, TPK Coven is our female and non-binary inclusive collective. So most of the campaigns run through the Coven are going to be female and non-binary presenting. So if you're into doing that kind of thing, come by.
And they are a
We
blast to
femme
watch.
and or gay.
Yeah,
It-
well, and that whole
they're all
cast is just
fantastic
so
talents.
good. Yeah, like every one of the actors or actresses, regardless, is just spectacular. All of the players, the GMs, it's a great group. All of TPK is though,
And I
but
think-
like,
I think Sir Heck is running that one, aren't they?
hell yeah.
Yeah.
Top
Yeah.
Mark's there too. Anything else before we move on to Shock Point? I keep interrupting as well. I
No,
apologize.
go. Shock, it's all you.
Get after
All right,
it then.
so, yeah, all right. Yep, I'm Shockpoint Failure. You can find me under that title over here on Twitch, as well as in the TPK's Discord. I'm there sometimes. I lurk a lot. You can also find me on Twitter at Shockpoint622. Just, ping me in either one of those 2 locations if you want to ask me practically anything. Also, Meg did bring up neon lights, which means I'm apparently the responsible to mention that tomorrow at noon Eastern, we will be in a 40k only war campaign over on neon lights.
Speaking.
See?
yeah.
Somebody has to be responsible. I'm
Yeah,
too drunk to
that's
do
fair.
it. So
How are you? I was drinking whiskey. How am I more sober than you?
I haven't eaten today. And I weigh like 90 pounds. What's
That's
your point?
fair. Yeah,
Okay.
doesn't take
okay,
much at that
all right.
point.
And that's just science.
Yeah.
All right. Fair enough.
Signed
yeah.
to Dr. Davies. Or Davis.
Maybe
God
right
damn
along
it.
the line.
Wow.
I cannot get it right. I never will.
If you're gonna continue
I'm
to
gonna
butcher me
kill
like
off
this,
your
I'm
character.
resigning.
No, I'm gonna kill off your character just so I can pick one that I remember because I've ingrained it as bad now. Go into witness protection. We'll just change your name. Same person, but.
So, finishing off, in addition to that, Meg Mysteria and I, as stated earlier, are marathoning through the Resident Evil franchise. We are currently on Resident Evil 4. We're about halfway, most of the way through. But
We're in
yeah,
the castle section dealing with Sadler and Salazar, so
yeah,
Plagas galore.
yeah. But yeah, that is also going to be taking, the next session for that is taking place on Monday, 12 noon, once again, Eastern Standard Time, unless something happens to one of us.
Put a pin in that, we'll reallocate the schedule.
Yeah.
Keep an eye on Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah, keep an eye on Twitter, which I need to do more on. Thank you for reminding me of that. But I believe that covers everything for me and Miss Meg.
Rowan, throw down.
Thank you for joining us tonight, lovely people. I have been Rowan. My pronouns are they, she, and you can find me on the internet as @RedWhiteRP. I am a writer, streamer, sensitivity reader, editor, professional dice cruncher. You can hire me to do any of those things. Look out for me over on Penny for a Tale, coming soon, Trudvang Chronicles Snow Saga, where I will be playing as our Nora Rolfsdottir, a very tall lady with a spear. I am also the creative lead for The Fey Realm, which is a new TTRPG network by LGBT plus people designed to be a safe, fun, and inclusive space for LGBT plus BIPOC and people of marginalized genders. That's Fey, F-A-E. You can catch me there on Tuesdays at 8:30 p.m. Eastern for Institutionalized, a Monster of the Week X Criminal Minds game, where I play as a very sad punk child. Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern, I am on Critical Misses for Under the Pale Cold Sun, a Vampire the Masquerade 5th Edition Chronicle as Fiorentino de Calza, Resident Toreador. Then alternating Saturdays starting May 8th, which is next Saturday? Yeah, next Saturday. I will be on Emerald City GMG for City of Mist, What Lurks Below, which is a City of Mist campaign IGM set in 1920s New York vaudeville. And then Sunday is starting tomorrow. You can see me on Honey and Dice for the season 2 premiere of Clockwork Vines, a Call of Cthulhu botanical steampunk game where I play Sim Valentine, a very punchy himbo dad. I also just posted on my Twitter today, I'm running a masks campaign on startplaying.games. You can sign up to be a part of that if you want. It is called Borderline Comics Presents Frontier City Chronicles. It's going to be a lot of fun. I think that's everything I'm doing that I can talk about. And yeah, I'm going to throw it up above me to Logan.
I'm sorry, a Monster of the Week Criminal Minds game?
X-Criminal
Yeah.
Minds game.
X-Criminal
Monster of the
Minds
Week
game?
X Criminal Minds.
I
You
don't
were
know
living
how
the high life over there.
I
Yeah,
don't know how
I
I'm
need-
supposed to follow that.
I need two things from you, Rowan. One, I need you to get like a QR code I can just replace your video with when you do your schedule so people can just click it. Or I need to like allocate additional time because I wish I had your schedule. That's fucking
Yeah.
wild, man.
Oh, right. I also run Monster of the Week one-shots alternating Sundays called Cases from the Institute. You can also find that on my Start Playing link if you want to sign up for those.
BRB, I'm gonna see if something works for a second here.
Incredible. I'm Logan, and I don't do any of that shit because I don't have the time. Wow, you're an amazing
Oh, that
person,
doesn't
and
work.
I'm very excited to have gotten to play with you since it seems like you have a very short window to be able to play. My name is Logan. I wrote the company. It is I'm a co-creator of the company with Alex Mitchell. Did all the wonderful art in the book. You can find that at megacorp.itch.io along with some other games I wrote. What a Terrible Night is free. You can check that out. It's a pamphlet game where you have to escape a awful mansion after going into it on a dare. It's based off of Betrayal in the House on the Hill and The Council, which is a Zoom-based game I wrote during the pandemic, which is essentially the XCOM board game because I couldn't play the XCOM board game with my friends. So those are available there. We have a new book coming out that kickstarted in February, part of Zine Quest 3, the company Conflict Resolution Guidelines. We have some wonderful contributors for that, 6 adventures. It is not available at the moment because I am fulfilling a Kickstarter, but it will be available in the near future. I'm hoping to have that ready to go by the end of May, early June. And then we're doing a reprint of the books that were offered up earlier in the raffle. We're going to do a reprint this fall. So check out megacorp.itch.io. We're going to have a pre-order link for those. They will not have the egregious amount of typos that are in the book that whoever won the raffle is going to get. Purple Phil, am I right?
Purple
Was that
Phil.
right?
Yeah, Purple Phil.
Wow, not as drunk as I thought. There's still like, if you go to MakeItPerp.itch, if you like the game, I think there's like 5 or 6 or 7 books actually left. I'm looking at them right here. I have a tiny amount. After essentially burning 6 books and sending them off to the Ennies, I have a small amount left. I'm glad everybody enjoyed it. I don't really do much else right now. I wrote some D&D stuff recently for a Kickstarter that just finished called Rock and Roll. It was based off of albums, like write adventures based off albums. I wrote one for the Mars Volta's D Last in the Karmatorium, which is a dope ass album. Fuck it, check out the Mars Volta's 2003 debut, D Lost in the Comatorium. That album rules. It's a prog album. It's smoke some weed. Check that out. I have a podcast called Low. It's at low.simplecast.net. It's a D&D podcast. There's I think it's like 6 or 7 episodes up. We cut off right before the pandemic, so there's a big cutoff there. I do a whole bunch of stuff. I don't know. I was in some short films. I'm bad at this. I don't do these. So like, thank you for having me. This was a lot of fun. I hope you had fun. I don't know. I didn't write Resident Evil. The movie was directed by Paul W.S. Anderson. He directed all of them. Actually, weirdly, he directed every Resident Evil movie. That dude also directed Event Horizon, which is one of the best horror movies ever made. I'm gonna keep talking. Someone cut me
I'll
off.
cut you off. It's okay.
Thank you.
No, I really appreciate it. No, game was great. Game is a blast. As always, I am Mads, your host. You can find me on Twitter at jkmadigan. You can also find me on itch at itch.io/jkmadigan. I have a total of 1 game up, which is Raven's Crest. It is a genre horror 80s RPG. If you have not checked it out yet, pamphlet form. It's just a single page, real easy to read. It's lots of fun. And then I mean that was made off of a movie that I helped make and write story for. So if you want to check that out, you can go to They Live Inside Us or Witching Season Films on Instagram. It's also free on Amazon Prime right now, I believe, to go watch. The movie is They Live Inside Us. Lots of fun. I do this primarily at the Top Shelf every other Saturday. I also do developer interviews in between those episodes normally. I think I'm going to hold off to check your schedule for when the campaign actually wraps to see if we want to sit down and have a chat about design and stuff for later, but I think that would be a lot of fun. And then we'll see more episodes of this. The next one that's coming out is going to be for Necrobiotic, an upcoming Kickstarter that has not released yet. I'm excited to get the materials for that and see what that system's about, but it's going to be a blast. I don't know. That's basically it. I have a very small schedule compared to you folks, and it's a lot of fun. You can bet all of your buns that if Resident Evil 4, once it comes out on VR for the Oculus, though, I will be streaming that on my personal channel because that sounds like a fucking ball. But thank you all for joining us. We will talk to you all next time and see you in 2 weeks. Keep an eye on the TPK Discord and our schedule, and we literally stream stuff every day. If it's not me, it's somebody else, and we all have good shit. So take care, folks.
Check the links. If you haven't kept up with it, we do our recap show tomorrow night.
Yep. Yeah, there's always a recap on Sunday if you miss our episodes, because we do stream literally every day a different game. And then, yeah, the schedule should be in the chat there. But take care, folks. Have a good night.
All
Bye,
right.
guys.